news because there's a lot of different stuff going on here.
I mean, we could start with the latest thing that we got is Mike Evans for 3 years of the 49ers. To me, that seems ridiculously too long for Mike Evans.
Yeah. No, I didn't see the Travis Kelce news too. Logan just joined. Nice.
Oh, what? He better have a face on here. You're not going to do face?
I can't. I'm at work.
That job.
Hey, man. Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I figured I could at least hop on here and not be a face, but at least be a
voice.
A voice in the wind, yeah.
Okay, so we just brought up Mike Evans for 3 years to the 49ers. I haven't seen dollar figures yet, but that doesn't mean anything. I think that's too long for Mike Evans, although they need a weapon that they can count on because Ayuk sucks. And I don't know what they're going to do with Jennings, but even if Jennings comes back, they still need something.
But yeah, they needed that extra guy, especially being down. What their face is. You know what I'm talking about.
Ricky Pearsall.
Well, not even Pearsall, but like even in the previous years, they had Ayuk, and they haven't really found that hard weapon to go with Pearsall like they had with Ayuk.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the problem with the Niners is they can't stay healthy because they're next to that power station. At least that's what the media wants to tell you, right?
I mean, I've heard that I'm sure they're all on nicotine because that's really good for their inflammation.
Yeah, they should be. That's probably the problem.
That's what was just trying to drop on me. Was nicotine's good for inflammation? I don't know about that, but okay. Power stations are bad for rumors, right? Inflammation. So yeah, I don't know. I think Mike Evans does all right, kind of maybe filling in a little bit of that red zone target action too, because with Kittle being down for however long he's down, and he signed a stupid long deal or whatever before he got hurt. So who knows? This gives Brock Purdy something. Pearsall. I mean, if everything's status quo, right? We got Pearsall, we got Mike Evans, we got Kittle eventually, and it's still Chris McCaffrey, right? That's probably the show.
I'm a little shocked they didn't go for like another tight end to have on the back burner.
They got Tonjes McBasketball. They'll be all right.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I mean, this Mike Evans deal, right? I don't think they expected it for 3 years, right? Or from to play 3 years because he's 32, 33 now. So a lot of this too is probably just moving money to make it work right now as well. So
I was gonna say it's probably first year guaranteed with second year and third year cop outs.
Yeah, 100%.
Pick another guy, anybody, somebody. I started with Evans.
Okay, well let's talk about Travis Etienne. I feel like that's a big one that was probably surprising that everyone wanted him to go to different spots. I know Bears were rumored to be in on him. And just a bunch of teams, and then Saints out of nowhere just came in and swooped in. So like this to me, this is kind of right on the wall that they've been wanting to trade Kamara for a while. And Kamara's like, I don't want to be traded, but Kamara's definitely dipped from years before, and I think this is kind of right in the wall for that. And I don't think Kamara's dead in the water for fantasy, but definitely dead in the water for RB1, RB2. I think he can still get in there at back three, maybe. But that's my initial takeaways from it. And curious to see what you guys think.
He's almost got to be released, right? Like, I can't imagine them having Devin Neal, Alvin Kamara, and Travis Etienne. Like, you're paying Etienne, starter money. Like, why would you have all that? And I mean, I know that Kamara's got a lot of money that's probably dead if they release him or whatever. So that's probably part of the issue. But I just can't. I'm not a Kamara guy, and I mean, like, I know I'm speaking blasphemous probably to Ty because I'm not the veteran RB guy, but like I don't mind the move for them, but like I would have loved to have seen him stay in Jacksonville. Now I have to wonder what Jacksonville's going to do. And you guys like, the Tootin Express, like, oh, okay, I'm like, I'll be shocked if he's the guy, but it would also not surprise me if Jacksonville screws it up because that's kind of their MO. Go ahead, Logan. You were going to talk about ETN.
What? Downstairs in the BX bag.
Okay. They're on the table.
Logan, did you die? Logan is dead.
His boss caught him
Sorry.
at work. That's what
There
it
he
was.
goes.
Yeah, I'll keep it. Thank you. Yep, you
He's in
too.
the bathroom.
No, I'm not.
Don't forget to flush. I'm just kidding.
Wash your hands, too, you nasty.
No, ETN I think will be good. They needed that guy that's not a Kamara to take control and take care of that team. I mean, as much as I like Kamara, he's on his downhill. It just doesn't make sense long term for him, or at least long term for the Saints. And they've got enough young guys running around there. Why not take advantage of getting someone a little bit younger?
So two things, and I think one's going to tie in with the other. I'll bring in the second part of it, and I'm going to try. I'm already forgotten who the guy was that I was thinking of. But ATN going to the Saints, and who was it that Kansas City signed? Kansas City signed Kenneth Walker. Does that take both of them out of the Jeremiah Love draft? Because both of those teams were highly thought of to have drafted Jeremiah Love.
I think so. Maybe the Saints might wait and take a later round guy. They're the one team of the two that I could see still grabbing a running back in the draft, just not obviously the Jeremiah Love caliber player.
Wiz, is that
TJ said we were talking on the phone about this because I was like, Jeremiah Love for sure is going to the Chiefs, and he's like, well, the offensive line in KC is a shit show, and I think that's what they want to do and correct the ship there. So I wouldn't be surprised the first 2 rounds they just go offensive line because this is a pretty solid offensive line class from everything that I've kind of seen and read. It's defense and offensive line is kind of the big thing, but maybe Bob, your facial expressions are kind of giving me different kind of vibes.
No.
Oh.
This is what I've been talking about the whole time, right? You don't want 26 picks because guess what? We don't draft offensive linemen. We don't draft defensive players unless you play an IDP like Logan and I do, and eventually we'll get Wiz in a league. But even still, it's not like you want to be burning first-round picks on defensive players. This is going to be a down draft. Now, the best part of this is Jeremiah Love may fall to a better team that's more prepared for him, like Chicago or I'm trying to think of who else in the first round that is desperate.
Well, I haven't seen him going early as 3 overall to Cardinals, which they just signed Tyler Algier.
They just signed Algier, and they made sure that Connor was going to be there. I think that they revised his contract to keep him on board. I can't imagine him going 3-0 overall. And it's like, at that point, if the Cardinals draft Jeremiah Love, then they're no better than the Vegas Raiders at that point. You might as well just start throwing them all together in a big heap of trash and being like, okay, y'all are done.
I don't know. The Raiders made a good move today, actually.
Well, they can make a good move, but it's still the Raiders. And I mean, they gotta get it all together.
But they got Tyler Lindenbaum now, which is a guy that, we were talking before you're like, he's probably going to leave him. I was like, Baltimore's probably going to try to keep him around, which I'm sure they probably tried, but he was going to be the highest paid center, and Baltimore doesn't have the cap wiggle room unless they do some Saints fucking magic where they just throw it on the burner.
Which blows my mind of why you bring in Max Crosby. Why bring in Max Crosby? All that money. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they needed a pass rush. But, you need Linderbaum. The pressure that usually I see Lamar Jackson fall most prey to is up the middle. Most of the guys that can run.
Yeah, and a lot of it's coming from Daniel Falele on that guard spot.
Go ahead, Wiz.
Right. Usually when you let a guy walk, it means you have a plan, right? We obviously don't have a first-round pick, so it's going to be a little bit tougher to backfill that position now than what it would have been without the Crosby trade, right? But no, that was our biggest weakness 100% was we didn't have a pass rush. We had Kyle Van Noy, which was our best pass rusher, and the dude's old, but he's still solid as fuck, right? But that's the problem. When you have one guy that can rush, you have guys that are not playing their positions they should be playing in that they're better suited at. And that's kind of what our whole defense has been for the last 2 years. And it's insane that Zach Orr, Harbaugh wanted to run it back with the same crew again. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? No wonder why you got fired, right?
I can't deny that there was some dumbassery going on there. But I just look, when I look at that offense, I think the number one problem with the offense was the offensive line. And what did you do? You've considerably got whether it's Mark lost Tyler Lindbaum and like Logan's talking about Falele or whatever is not very good either. Like it's, what are you gonna do? And you're counting on what? I don't know how old Lamar Jackson is now, but like his legs are gonna go before his arm does, and like you're counting on him to be more mobile. Like I don't know if that's just gonna happen. So
yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting for sure to see kind of how everything shakes out there in Baltimore. I think it's gonna be very quiet free agency for us in Baltimore. It's gonna be a couple signings of probably day two. I would expect anyone to be signed this today from Baltimore. But see.
Well, I was gonna say, let's move on to a little bit more news. Who's pissed off about Travis Kelce staying? This guy. I'll raise my hand. Like I'm ready for Noah Gray season. I'm tired of Travis Kelce and the NFL. I bet the NFL probably went to him and was like, Travis, you got to stay because we need Taylor Swift fans. And it's like, oh, okay, that's how we're going to do this. Like, stop. It's time for you to go. You're just about washed. And like the offensive line, I mean, I have no idea what he's going to get paid, but I'm sure it's way too much for a 36 or 34-year-old tight end. Like, stop. It's time to just hang him up, go on tour with your girlfriend, get married, get whatever, but be done. But it's not going to happen, and I'm just going to be mad about it.
What do you guys think? Well, with that statement being said, do you think Taylor Swift's the halftime performer this season?
What's the odds?
That was in the contract. Hey, you give my girlfriend the halftime show, and I'll stay another year.
Well, honestly, with the halftime show, they don't get paid like anything for it.
Yeah,
it's just more like a big publicity. So that's why they go out and get Usher, the guy that's like, oh, what happened to Usher? And he's like, oh, now he's doing the halftime show. They usually have those kind of people. But I don't know. It's I'm not. I think the writing on the wall was pretty clear with Travis Kelce that he was going to come back this year, just because he's a competitor at the end of the day, and I wouldn't want to have my NFL career being in a non-playoff year, just being the worst that's the Chiefs have performed in the last decade. Like, I don't want to go out on that note, at least making another playoff run, making another Super Bowl run. And I think that's kind of what it's for. I think Andy Reid's going to be hanging up soon too.
Is Mahomes going to be ready at the beginning of the year?
I just don't think he's supposed to be.
He's not supposed to be, but I would be surprised if he's ready earlier.
He might do
he's
something.
That kind of guy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if they bring the band back together, that's fine. But like, they just traded McDuffie. You know what I mean? Like, are they going to try and build this team through the draft? And I don't know. And is Andy Reid up for that? Like, I don't know. It's just, like I said, I was not happy with the fact that I heard he was returning, and it is what it is. It's not like I don't have any Travis Kelce shares. I'm just not. That's just not for me. Like, I think that he's pretty washed.
Yeah.
You guys want to go tackle? I mean, I feel like we should talk about the Bears.
Go ahead.
But they just added safety Kobe Bryant from the Seahawks on a 3-year, $40 million deal.
Yeah.
Defense tackle Gallimore from the Colts, and I think they just brought someone else in, right?
Well, you can talk about the guy they traded for. What was his name? Garrett Bradbury. Garrett Bradbury, center from the
from Patriots.
Yep. I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, the safety. I thought they were fine with what they had there, but I think this is right on the wall that Brisker's probably gonna walk. That he wanted too much of free agency, so they went out there and got Kobe Bryant. I don't know too much about Gallimore. I don't know if he's good or bad. He's probably just going to be a mediocre guy that kind of plays back and forth with Grady Jarrett. But Bradbury, I'm excited about the offensive line additions. They need help on the offensive line. The offensive line wasn't the worst in the league, but it was definitely not top 12, top 15, probably top 20-ish. But you obviously want to crack closer into have a better offensive line than worse. And then getting rid of DJ Moore. I mean, the weapons are up. This is the time to go ahead and try to acquire Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, the coastal loved ones. Depends, because people valued him way differently in leagues. I noticed, I got Rome pretty cheap in a few of them, and the other times Luther Burden, they're like, I want 2 first rounds. I was like, all right, well, I don't want Luther Burden then,
Yeah.
So it's it was one of those times, and that's kind of the window's kind of closed with DJ Moore exiting there. But I think this also we could roll this into Buffalo, and I could pull up see if they added anyone so far in free agency. But
Well,
yes,
you got it. They lost 2 of their top 5 receiving talents, in DJ Moore and Amadeus Zaccheaus or whatever his name is.
Zaccheaus.
Like seriously, but I mean, I think I like the idea of a consolidation of targets, but what I want to see as and I know everybody thinks I'm kind of a hater. I'm just not a glazer of said Caleb Williams. Like I just want to see that pass percentage, completion percentage come up. I think if he gets into the 65 to like 60, well, let's just say 63 to 68 range. Let's give a nice little 3-degree guarantee window here to bring up my old weather. I don't do anything with weather, but that's how weather people do. So like anything in that window, I think this team takes probably another step forward. I know they were losing a lot on defense, but of course bringing in Kobe Bryant's helpful. That can't be all they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they still need, and it's like, of course, I heard that Dexter Gervin really doesn't fit. Who's the the defensive coordinator, like his scheme or whatever.
Dennis Allen.
Yeah, it doesn't fit like Dennis Allen's scheme. So if they can get something for him, maybe they still don't have a whole lot of pass rush outside of Montez Sweat or whatever.
Which he's very not reliable.
Right. I mean, of course, when they acquired him, he comes over and gets 8 sacks or whatever, and then turns around and kind of turns into a turd the next year or whatever. But, the offense has to stay on the field longer. And, of course, running the ball helps with that. Are both running backs still under contract? I believe so. Of course,
I think they
Swift has one more
Swift
year.
last
okay,
year.
I knew Monangai was. So, yeah. So,
yeah,
Swift's got
Monangai
one
was a
more year.
rookie, so he's still on his rookie deal.
So if they can run the ball and Caleb doesn't have to put I think the problem is Caleb putting the team on his shoulders when it's why do it all the time? Obviously he can do it in some aspects, but in the playoffs he didn't. Now does that in any way, shape, or form belittle Caleb? No, but like you got to get over 58% completion percentage. That's just bleh. But it's like the center should help. I think it's I don't necessarily know if we want to transition to Buffalo or transition to the Patriots, but I think it's a next level move by the Patriots because they can move the rookie Jared Wilson into play center. They can move Campbell into play. Now they just got to find a left tackle. Now finding a left tackle is not an easy proposition, but they also still have, I think, relatively the most cap space, so they could sign a vet and draft a guy and groom it. So that's what I would expect them to do. But yeah, so Buffalo, I like DJ Moore for Buffalo. I have been talking the whole time. Logan, go.
I mean, DJ Moore's a good pickup for Buffalo. They needed that star guy. Don't get me wrong. I think Keon could perform, but he just hasn't. And I like Khalil Shakir, and have from the get-go. But I think that they needed that extra punch on that receiving core. And I also feel like, who is it? Who's the tight end? It's Dalton Kincaid. Yeah. Kincaid's just not been the guy to help take the defense down to get those other receivers open. He's been salvageable. He was good his first year, but he just hasn't really, I guess, hit that mark of what they need from him.
Yeah, it doesn't help that he's also been banged up throughout that whole entire career, right? But DJ Moore, right? Are you guys buying? I mean, I don't know what his value is currently sitting at, but is this a player you guys are kind of interested in, or is this like I want to get rid of him now before the season starts?
I think if I have Josh Allen, I'm interested, but I think if I don't, then I can be.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to sell him, but I'm not saying I'm going to not be willing to buy him. Like, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. It's going to be like if the guy's willing to make a good deal, whoever, if I have him, if someone else has him, as long as the deal is good, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
So right now his value is going at the 1.9. So 1.9 or DJ Moore.
Oh yeah, like I would take the DJ Moore for the 1.9. I'm just totally out of this class.
Alec Pierce.
Yeah, I think I would take Moore over Pierce. Like he should get more targets, and I don't know what
I think
Indianapolis session's
the
going to be
jury's
out
still
for this
out
score.
on Pierce, I think. Because it's
The
just
dogs
I
are
don't think
murdering something.
I don't
That's
think
what it sounds like.
yeah. I don't think he's had the target share to really draw me in yet.
Yeah,
I
it's kind
definitely
of the
don't
big
think
player
he's
bust. type
yeah,
of
I
thing.
definitely don't think he's had the share to be worthy of that contract he just got. But
And then the last one's RJ Harvey.
Oh
or
yeah,
DJ Moore.
I would just assume have DJ Moore. I'm not.
RJ Harvey's just not been the guy yet.
I just think that they're going to bring somebody in, and I mean, it is what it is, and I think that he'll be serviceable in a timeshare, but like I'm never gonna. I don't know. I'm not going to buy running backs for wide receivers. Like if you told me I was a 109 or RJ Harvey, I'm like I might just go ahead and take RJ Harvey, but like. I prefer to just have DJ Moore than RJ Harvey.
All right. Well, should we roll right into the Raiders? We could talk about. We touched a little bit on Linderbaum here, but they added Jalen Naylor in there as well, which is a very underrated guy. It was funny when Mike was doing his little scouting school. He was like, "We're watching film on Jalen Naylor," because they don't want you to watch these big name guys. They want you to watch what the little guys do and see how they make their money, type of thing. And he was a guy that kind of popped a lot in the NFL this year. In years before, even he was always kind of the steady Eddie guy, just never the number one there. Yeah. So they have 2 first rounds because they traded Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
So Mendoza's definitely going 1, right? We don't. Unless you guys think they might trade out of that pick for future capital.
I don't think they're going to trade out of that pick at this point. It seems like they're just going to stay there and draft him. Especially considering they went out and acquired a second pick in the first round. I don't see any real point to move back. What's the Ravens pick at? Isn't it like
11.
14?
I was going to say it's top. I was like, it's top 15
15
for sure. But having 2 top 15 picks, you can easily get that. The one guy you want at 1, and then they're going to take some defender at that second pick. No question about it. Unless for some reason the one lineman that's really good, who's been projected top 5, is going to drop, which I don't see happening based on who's ahead of that Ravens pick.
I just assume that's the other dynasty dogs outside barking behind your house. So, like, I'm going to say
that's Mike out there just because you were disrespecting RJ Harvey.
Oh yeah,
like, let me add it. But yes,
I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% positive. If Bob was running the franchise, I would be trading out or trading back. Not that I don't like Mendoza, but you still don't have enough. You got Tyler Linderbaum. You may have Colton Miller whenever he's healthy. Don't know who else they've signed this year, and they're not going to fix the offensive line with 2 guys. Is it a start? Yes. I'm not. If Jalen Naylor ends up being your 1, actually probably Brock Bowers is the 1, so I shouldn't even overspeak that. But Jalen Naylor going to take away enough coverage off Brock Bowers to do anything with Jack Besh. I mean, really, I don't. I mean, and that's just the weapons. There's just not enough protection. Go ahead. You were going to say something. Okay. No, you're not.
Oh, I was going to say anything. I didn't have anything on top right there. But, I mean, I feel like this is the nice thing is they run a West Coast style offense, right? Get the ball out quick, a lot of RPOs. So I think they want to solidify this offensive line. I was thinking originally they were going to go ahead and go out there and target a wide receiver with that 11th or 14th overall pick from Baltimore, because there's going to be one, either Tate, Lemon, or other guy's space.
Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson. Someone in that kind of range there. But now I'm kind of thinking they're going to go offensive line here, right? I think they're going to solidify that offense, build one chunk at a time. And then their defense could be horrible, but this opens a lot of fantasy opportunity because there's going to be a lot of garbage time football in here. So I think this helps in a kind of weird roundabout fucking way that they're going to be throwing a lot in the 4th and 3rd quarter is what I'm kind of alluding to. And I think like Jalen Naylor, yeah, not a real sexy, flashy name here, but I think this is a guy that he does a lot of things right. He's really good at blocking. He's really good at getting open. He's just an overall solid guy for an NFL team. It's just, I don't know if he's going to be worth anything fantasy. I think he's going to have a couple blow-up games here and there, but not a guy I'm overly interested in, but I think this helps Mendoza coming in, and I think this helps Genty a lot, especially with they were just being such a good blocking wide receiver.
I think there's enough depth at either position. Like if they like whoever's on the board at offensive line, then take offensive line. If you like whoever's at running back, take running back or wide receiver. Because like I think that that's two of the deeper positions in this draft. Now you're not getting a superstar in the second, and don't hear what I'm not saying. Don't rush out and go get any vague.
Yeah, don't just go get any flop you can find.
Did Bob cut out? Or
Yes,
am I
he did.
Okay.
No, he cut out, and I was trying to fill the silence.
Oh yeah,
with-
I understand. I mean, Bob will come back in here eventually, and he'll pick up where he left off.
It's that country Wi-Fi is what it is.
That's
Yeah.
BS.
There he is. He's back.
I was on a roll, but that's okay.
You were. It was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, I figure on that end, it probably was great. I was like, what happened? And then I'm like, whatever. So, yeah, I think that again, it's not anybody I'm going to rush out and get. I think there's going to be some growing pains, but they definitely that's who I'm targeting in the first two picks. I guess after Mendoza, I definitely want to get a wide receiver and I want to get offensive lineman or see what you can get freaking Marvin Harrison Jr. for. You know what I mean? Like that was some kind of rumor. I heard that nobody offered more than a fifth for Brian Thomas Jr. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Go offer a fourth and go offer two fourths for him. Like you had to acquire draft capital here.
It's just, I don't think Brian Thomas fits the Raiders at all, what they want to do. Right. And I think biggest concern for not right. I think Marvin Harrison would fit good in there because he's a good savvy route runner that can get open. But Brian Thomas is more of a field stretcher, right? I think he's going to turn more into a contested ball kind of guy. So I think it's going to be looking a lot like Jacksonville for Brian Thomas without Mac Jones there. But, I mean, speaking of quarterbacks, should we go down to Miami and
go ahead.
Get a little warm up? It's -2 here. Let's freeze my ass. What took me so long to go live was because I had to wait for my Jeep to warm up. The nice thing about
I had to wait for his internet to warm up, like it's dial up.
Yeah, and had to thaw out real quick. But the nice thing about leather seats is that they're leather seats, right? And you got the little butt warmers in there, better than cloth. But man, it's fucking cold at -2, and this shit takes forever to warm up in there. And it doesn't help I was wearing shorts either. I'd go to the gas station, but no, Malik Willis is down in Miami now. They released Tyreek Hill.
They are releasing
Tua.
Yeah.
So what is kind of going on? What's your guys' takeaways from Miami?
I'm concerned, if I say so myself. I didn't think Tua was the answer to begin with, but I definitely don't think Malik Willis is the answer. Who did they draft last year?
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to play Quinn Ewers.
Well, it's clear they're going to play Malik Willis. They just signed him to nearly, $22 million or something a year. They're going to have to play him.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like there was other options if you really wanted to go.
I mean, what other options do they have realistically, right? I mean, yeah, they could have drafted Ty Simpson, which coming out this week, the quarterback show. So stay tuned for that. But I don't think
the offensive line's strong enough to not have a mobile guy. And Malik Willis is clearly mobile. So the only thing I don't like about this team really is that they don't have like more than two options really in the passing game. Like, what are they going to do there? I mean, like you've got Jalen Waddle, who not a whole lot of people like. You've got Devin Achane, who's, rail thin and is great on dump offs and, outside runs and stuff. But like the offensive line's kind of poop. I think it's just going to be a whole rebuilding situation for this team. I'm not opposed to Malik Willis. I think that he could have the chops to be a starting quarterback in the league. But I also think that it's like, what kind of offense are they going to run? And of course, that's the the crux position, and then on top of that, like who else are they going to get to be a target? So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have Malik Washington there. I like him a lot, but I mean, for where do they sign Salih Malik Willis? 3 years, $67.5 million. That's nothing for quarterbacks getting signed in the free agency. I think it makes a lot of sense for them to get a guy like this and take a chance on him, right? If he's your starting quarterback, cool. If not, he's going to be at least there to be a bridge guy for 2027 when you guys draft a franchise guy, if you do so select that, right? They do have a lot of holes in there, especially defense. They have holes all around that team, right? There's Swiss cheese out there. Malik Willis is not. He plugged a hole, maybe, but that hole was to a hole which was not that big to begin with because he was not really the biggest prop on that team. It's just a new regime. I think they just want to get their guy in there. I mean, it came from Green Bay, so of course you're going to bring the backup for Green Bay. That's definitely flash, and I thought he ran Matt LaFleur's offense better than Jordan Love at times. I tweeted that out, and I'm not saying Malik Willis is a better quarterback than Jordan Love. I'm just saying that he fitted Matt LaFleur's system a little bit better than Jordan Love at times, it appeared. So I think this is good for him. I think this is good for Dolphins to take a chance on a guy like this. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think this is where we all kind of predicted Malik Willis to fall.
Well, I think with one more weapon, it'll be all right for fantasy because, like, if they just have one more guy to be an option, Malik Washington, I don't know if I would even be like, oh yeah, that's exciting.
He's not the flashy guy. No, you're 100% right. But I think, I mean, like a Casey Conception, I think is his name.
Conception.
But if he falls in the second round, the offense have that early second round. I think this is where they'll take wide receiver. I think they're definitely going to go offensive line or defense, probably defense first round, especially since they have a defensive-minded head coach. They usually like to strengthen that defense. I mean, look at Baltimore. Jesse Minter went out and got Max Crosby.
Right.
So they want to shore up what his specialty is before he starts worrying about the other side of the ball. That's usually my kind of thing I usually see with these kind of guys coming in, head coaches.
So let's sidebar on that and be like, what do we think is going to happen with Tua? I've heard that the Falcons are positioning themselves for Tua. So, like, what does that even mean? Like, are they positioning him to take over the Penix, or are they just going to,
Why do you say it like that? Pause. Taking over the Penix.
I have no idea. Like, I have no idea if he's taking over for the Penix. So it's like, is he going to, just ram it past him, or is he going to is he going to take over? I don't know. That's such a weird. I legit. It's funny because I'm pretty sure TJ and I talked about this at one point, being like he needs to be like the scout team quarterback for the Falcons. That way they're all catching from left-handed quarterback. But like if he's the guy that ends up starting for him, does that make him better? I don't know because he still can't take hits. He's still going to play timid. Like.
He's taken enough hits and he's been injured enough that it scares me, not only as a fan of football, but also as a Michael Penix owner.
Yeah,
because I have him in a couple leagues.
And I don't know if Penix is better than Tua. Like if they're in a competition with each other, is Penix better? I don't know. So it's like. I don't know. It's going to be about how they play on the field, and we know Tua will look amazing in practice because he's not getting hit. But as soon as he has to get hit, then that's going to be like, we're going to ram the Penix back in.
I mean, if they go out and get Tua, I feel like this Falcons GM is kind of making the same mistake as the last Falcons GM, where you sign Kirk Cousins' deal and then you were pounding the table for Michael Penix, and then he tears his ACL for the third or fourth time. I forget. He's tore it twice in college, something like that.
This is a new GM.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's making the same mistakes.
Oh, I got you.
Tua is definitely not the answer for the Falcons. I wouldn't write Michael Penix out yet. I mean, yeah, it's another ACL injury, but he never made his bread and butter from running the football. So, and he's a quarterback. So there's times where there's like just time in general for Michael Penix still to kind of turn out all right, but he's probably not going to be ready for a while, at least the beginning of the season. I think he will take longer than Mahomes rehab. It is kind of what I'm alluding to.
I'm mute for a second. So I'm not going to talk. Give me a second.
All right. We could jump over to the Giants. They signed Isaiah Likely. This might hurt TJ a little bit because he was a big Theo Johnson guy. I like this line spot for Isaiah Likely. I think it made a lot of sense. And the Ravens fans on Twitter, they're making jokes about how John Harbaugh screwed the Baltimore Ravens by giving Mark Andrews that big contract renewal. And he's like, just for him to sign Isaiah Likely and to add a little sugar on top, he stole our punter as well. He took him to the Giants with him. But Isaiah Likely, I mean, the Giants overall, right? They lost Wan'Dale Robinson to Tennessee, which we could pivot over Tennessee after this. Do you like the landing spot for Isaiah Likely, or are you still? I know Slim is a big Isaiah Likely fan. Do you think Slim's happy about this, or do you think Slim's like, I wish he went somewhere else?
Well, I mean, like, I think if I remember right, we're not big fans of Matt Nagy, who ends up being the offensive coordinator for the Giants. So I'm super stoked that Wan'Dale Robinson got out. If Nagy chooses to run 2 tight ends, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I can't really remember what his offenses look like with, relatively mediocre players, right? Obviously if you have Mahomes, but like he made Mahomes offenses look not good. So like that's.
Well, I can tell you, as watching the Bears for a long time with Matt Nagy, it was not a fun team to watch.
Oh yeah, he's the part. He's one of the big pieces of the puzzle of the why Justin Fields became ruined. So I understand that, but yeah, I'm not like stoked. If he becomes a high end part of the offense, if he could be top 12, right? But like, I've always been of the like, if you don't have one of the top 4, 5, 6 tight ends, like you're just kind of throwing darts anyway, So if Slim's happy about it, I'd kind of be surprised because I think we were both really down on Nagy. But if you believe he's going to be the tight end one and kind of be a focal point of the offense, then you might be right. You might be sad.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, if I can remember correctly from the Chicago days, he was all about getting the ground game started. That's when they had Montgomery and Tariq Cohen, which Montgomery did not finish as an RB1 throughout that time. Tariq Cohen was a RB2 with Montgomery, I think, in that 1 year. So it's something to kind of keep note on for Cam Scadaboo owners. Not saying it's going to happen again, right? But there's also rumors that Keaton Mitchell might be going to the Giants as well, which is another one of Harbaugh's guys. I think this hurts more Tyrone Tracy than Cam Scadaboo. Keaton Mitchell is a fast change of pace, shifty back in the backfield there. Nothing I wouldn't pay too much attention, but just know he's going to get his change of pace touches compared to Cam Scadaboo, which is going to run through the brick wall. And
It's
Kool-Aid man.
It's very obviously they're going to run it the same way they ran it in Baltimore, where they have the power back and the receiving back from everything that it looks like right now. So it's going to be Cam running that power back, I think, and Scat running the power back and Mitchell running the receiving game.
Yeah, and that's if they bring him, or if not, Tyrone Tracy's going to do whatever the Keaton Mitchell rule would have been. But
yeah, I think if they remotely try and mimic the freaking Baltimore offense, it's kind of stupid, And I know you're a Baltimore fan, Wiz, but like, it's just kind of dumb. Like,
it's
just an old, outdated system to run.
Well, it's predictable too.
Yeah, and then when it works, you stop doing what was working, and then you do something completely different to try to outsmart everyone. And then with the Giants,
Wiz, I was gonna say, Wiz, you know better than I do, but my buddy's also a Ravens fan, and he's always like, every time we run Justice Hill out there, they know it's going to be a passing down because he's going to run out the backfield and catch a ball.
Yeah.
So it's one-dimensional and predictable.
Yeah, I think he was getting like 5 or 6 touches, like rushes a game, which kind of puts it right on the wall when you're taking 40, 50% of the snap, or I think he's like 40, 45% of the snaps at times, right? Also for the Giants, they just signed Tremaine Edmonds, Bears' old middle linebacker.
Okay.
Logan, how does this affect IDP here, or is this a guy you think is still a suitable starter here? Because I'm guessing Edmonds was probably a starter since linebackers, but
He's definitely a solid starter. I mean, he's not anyone that I keep on my teams just because he was a Bear. It should end up better for him for IDP due to the fact that they're a little bit on the lower end side of the teams. We talk about it all the time. The best IDP players are the guys on terrible offensive teams. So unless that offense sets up astronomically, I think he'll be a good IDP guy no matter where he goes.
we're talking about Tremaine Edmonds. You just signed with the Giants, Bob.
Sign with the Giants.
Yeah,
That's interesting. They probably could have used a new middle linebacker. I don't know. Edmonds came into the league stupid young. I know TJ Edwards for the Bears is probably more their heart and soul of the defense for the Bears, but he's got to come back healthy. He had a really nasty injury, didn't he? And so,
yeah, I think so. I can't remember what it was, but
I know that they re-signed that DeMarco Jackson. The Bears did, so it's like I think.
And they just brought in Devin Bush as well.
Okay, so they should be okay. They still don't have much of a pass rush, but we've talked about that already. I think for the Giants, they're going to need somebody behind that that vaunted defensive line, but to just clean up the crap. But
I think Edmonds is very suitable for that. I think
you're right.
my whole thing with the Bears, right, is that they trade Roquan Smith to the Ravens, right? Which I appreciate him for that. Roquan Smith he was one of the best, but he's definitely lost a step from last year. And then they signed Edmonds back in the day for $2 million less than Roquan Smith, and just overall net salary. And they didn't want to pay Roquan what he was asking. Like $2 million is really gonna go down a tier for Edmonds, and he was a suitable guy. He just didn't do anything. He didn't bring up the defense. He just kind of played his niche, his role, and he did it okay. That was kind of my thing. I was never a big Edmonds guy.
I'm just surprised that the Bears doing stupid things surprises you, Wiz. It's like
they cut him. They cut him because he was owed a lot of fucking money, so it made sense to cut him. He was gone.
Not paying Roquan. You know what I'm saying?
But that was that was before. I think it was the first year with Ryan Poles, maybe. I can't remember. It's a while.
Ryan Poles doing stupid stuff. Imagine that.
He's either a big genius or he's a genius, Bob. We got to figure this out one of these days. We sit down and go through all of his mistakes, his better deals. But I think the team is better than what it was before Ryan Poles is kind of what I'm moving to. And you should be a Bears fan now. They're moving to Indiana, allegedly.
No, I won't.
The Gary
I would have to drive past the Colts to go root for the Bears, and I won't do that anymore.
But you're already a Cubs fan. It just makes sense. North side.
I mean, while it does make sense, they're going to move to south and east, so it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense for the highway system, as you know. I mean, whatever. So my wife's from Ohio, and I have family in Northern Illinois. So when we drive through, we either drive through Indianapolis and then go through Chicago, which there's all the toll roads and you have all the traffic depending on what hours. So I just go down south and drive back up that way. I forget what the highway is there, but that's what I do, and that's where the stadium's going to be at. So it might be the same distance for anyone that's not in Chicago.
Yeah. The only time I've ever been there was whenever that one time my dad took a wrong turn and we ended up in Gary. All right.
Oh, yeah. They're supposed to move to Hammond, I think, not Gary.
Oh, it's close enough.
But yeah, Gary, there's bars on the windows in Gary. It used to be the murder capital of the world. And
it was so funny. I was like,
well, that's it just fits the Chicago rap,
like, no.
Yeah. Yay, Indiana. I feel like we've digressed a little bit here. Is Tunsil like the biggest sap on an offensive line in anybody in football? I'm beginning to wonder. I just seen that he's making a crazy amount of money. They just re-upped him or whatever, and I'm like, but you had to let Tyler Biadasz go to make that space. I have no idea if they got a backup center plan, which they may, but the team needs weapons and defense, and you're going back to overpay the left tackle, and
What side of the ball is this? Is this the Giants? Is this Giants? I don't know.
No. Tunsil is the left tackle for the Commanders.
Oh, we're talking about Commanders now.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm just confused where we segue into. I'm like, what team are we fucking talking about right now? But
I just was like, I was trying to think about some other topic, and like,
oh, okay.
Tunsil
Well, we
just
can
came
talk.
into
We
my
can move on to the
brain.
Titans. Tennessee Titans. They brought in Wan'Dale Robinson, which is a guy that I think I was talking to TJ. It might have been on the Triple Threat show that I was talking about. Wan'Dale Robinson makes a lot of sense for the Titans. I thought, especially with Brian Daboll going over there as OC. You guys, I don't know if you guys were big Wan'Dale fans beforehand. He's quite undersized, so to me, I think Bob might not like him just for that sole reason. But I think this helps out Tennessee a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think they overpaid him, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's everybody's overpaid, so whatever. But like, I like Wan'Dale, and his diminutive stature does not seem to downsize the amount of targets he gets. When you're averaging close to 140 or whatever the last 2 years, like, hey, that's great. And he tends to do not a whole lot with them, but he also seems to ironically shrink against really good teams. That's odd, but like they cannot rely on Wan'Dale to be their wide receiver one. I hope that they go get somebody other than
they have
like
Calvin Ridley.
Eric. Well, yeah. They need to get. I rephrase how they need to get somebody else. So not Calvin Ridley, and I don't think they can rely on Eric Manor or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Like I just, I think that he needs to be a 2. I think that Wan'Dale could be a decent slot merchant, and maybe they find their one in the draft or find their one somewhere. But like, here's another place where obviously Brian Thomas Jr. couldn't go there because it's in the same division. But like,
and Robert Saleh and Liam Coleman have the biggest beef in the world for almost no reason at all. That was a crazy thing. He was like, "I'll fucking kill you," and Liam Coleman was like, trying to get in his like. Are you gonna take in a fight, Robert Salah or Liam Cohen? And Liam Cohen tried to get in his face. It's like, dude, you're fucking dumb. Dumb.
Duval, like whatever. Yeah, he's pretty dumb. Like so, he's a good coach. I mean, at least offensively, but obviously not somebody I'd be too scared of in a fist fight. But yeah, I think that they still need a 1. Maybe they roll Calvin Ridley out there, or Calvin Ridley rolls out there in his walker, whatever. But it's probably time old boy hangs it up. But any targets for Ward is going to be helpful.
I'm looking at the Titans picks real quick. Logan, got anything?
Don't they pick 4?
4.
Yeah. So like I hope they're not stupid and taking Jeremiah Love. But I could see him, like, I don't think Tate would be bad there, but I think they probably still need to just the better move.
Edge rush.
Yeah, either that or offensive line. If I've seen Ruben Bain Jr. Yeah, I've seen Ruben Bain Jr. mocked there a couple times, and I'm like, man, I hope that dude doesn't fall. Like, this is one of the guys I'm going to flag plan on. Like, he's not he should not first round talent. 5th round arms. Like the dude's like very like he's a T-Rex, man. He probably needs to just not he's a complete outlier as far as his wingspan and arms go, and that's not good. It's not great. He's going to be a complete outlier if he succeeds. But that's defense. But yeah, they need to get I think they would be better off with maybe Bailey or Sonny Styles. I think that would be a good idea because, but I don't mind Cedric Gray, currently on the defense, but they need to, they got
added,
a lot of holes.
Quarterback Cordell Float.
Oh, okay.
Float.
I've
Float.
always called it Float. It's from the Giants, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, it's they needed some secondary help for sure. So I still think they need offensive line. Like, man, I know that when we do the live draft, it's going to be Bob being real boring. Well, they probably should have went offensive line. The problem is like I say this ad nauseum. And I probably said it to Logan today when he called me on the phone. There's a shortage of offensive linemen in the NFL, and that's 95% of the problem.
Yeah, and it's been a weird thing that college has not really backfilled that position that well in most recent years. So we have so they Titans just added quarterback Alante Taylor.
Okay.
Saints guy for 3 years, $60 million, 42 guaranteed.
That's a
Denver
slot guy.
Yep. Denver brought in J.K. Dobbins on a 2-year deal, brought him back.
Wow.
And then Michael Pittman went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we talked about our Pittman was mentioned earlier in the chat
TJ,
or whatever.
Of course.
Well,
TJ,
I mean,
who would have guessed?
Yeah, I mean, they needed somebody. So Logan, go
Then
ahead and
BK.
talk Pittman. I'm gonna have to split. It's been a good time. But Logan, you chat on Pittman and I gotta split.
All right, Bob, have fun, but not too much.
As much fun as I can have.
See you, Bob.
All right.
But,
Well, I guess it's just the two of us now until someone else hops in here.
Yeah. But so where do you want to tackle first? We have J.K. Dobbins and we have Michael Pittman we could talk about.
Let's go in with Pittman. He went. So is it official he is going to the Steelers? I know TJ said something.
Yeah, I
didn't
just
know
saw
how
something to come across. I
officially
don't know who
official that
tweeted it out.
was.
Let's see. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Yahoo tweeted out 2 hours or made a post, NFL.com also. And then he agreed to a 3-year, $59 million contract with the Steelers.
Okay.
To me, it's a little puzzling.
59.
Yeah, $59 million.
That's not a bad deal for 3 years, I think, for him.
Yeah, it's not. But if you saw what Alec Pierce just made, and I thought Pittman was
which is crazy work. I think Alec Pierce overpaid up. It's like they were just like, oh, let's just give him all this money and let Pittman walk, which is crazy to me. I don't think Pierce is the guy for Indy. Pittman was for a few years, and Pittman's good. I think it'll be a lot better having that second guy there, not only for Pittsburgh, but for him and DK Metcalf, because I feel like neither one of them fully succeed unless they have a solid number 2 option behind them, or even a solid guy with them entirely, just to take the pain off of, okay, we're the only guy here.
Yeah, no, 100%. And for me, Michael Pittman, the biggest questions there in Pittsburgh right now is who is going to be the quarterback in 2026, right? Aaron Rodgers is not, from what I've seen, is not ruled out coming back. I saw he was on Pat McAfee, and they're like, Mike's back. Are you going to go play over here? And he just did not want to answer the question. You could tell he was like kind of politicianing around it. And playing with it. They have Will Howard as a backup. They do have a later first round, so that means Ty Simpson might still be on the board if you want to take that, but that's a developmental piece, a guy that's not really pro ready, only started 16, 15 college games, so it's Anthony Richardson-esque there. Or they could take a guy later like Garrett Nessenmeyer, Luke Altemeyer, which is a guy I'm a big fan of. I think he would fit well in that system.
I think there's a lot of guys better than some of the 2 at the top. Like, maybe not Mendoza, but I think there's guys better than at least Ty Simpson later in the draft that are worth the pick. But
yeah,
I trust a higher snap count in college than I do a Ty Simpson or obviously Richardson. And my dad would say, I don't know what the number is, but I think he's only played like 20 something games between high school and college. So
yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things that's the biggest question mark. I think Michael Pittman right now is intriguing buy low because I think the Steelers perceive value that whenever they touch a wide receiver, put some stank on him, right? So I think Michael Pittman's a good one to knock doors on, maybe knock on doors for DK Metcalf. People see Michael Pittman as a net negative, but I agree with you that I think these guys are going to benefit from each other. It is a little puzzling that they're both kind of outside guys. They don't really play the inside that well, which then opens up to what are they going to do? Are they going to run a Mike McCarthy style offense, which is against the Steelers brand, but Tomlin's also gone.
Yeah. I mean, whenever
Um,
you have the same coach for what was it, 20 years or something,
Right.
and they just keep rotating 20-year, 10-year coaches.
Yeah. So then it's and then right now probably projected is Roman Wilson playing the slot. But yeah, I'm intrigued by this land spot. I think it's going to shift a lot more to a pass friendly offense there. Kenneth
Yeah.
Gainwell left in free agency. I forget where he went to. I kind of want to look that up. So we can
I
talk
was
about
gonna
that.
say I don't remember that off the top of my head.
Gainwell, because I know he landed somewhere with a team with an established running back. To Tampa Bay.
Oh,
Yeah, so we could
so
we
they're
could
gonna
pivot and talk
run
about that.
him and Bucky and
Well, Rashad
Rachaad
White's
White?
gone, I think. I think he's
Is
gone.
he?
I
I was
think
gonna
he's free
say
agent.
I couldn't remember if White was gone.
But yeah, so Bucky Irving over there, obviously he had a disappointing season. He got injured. I think it was an ankle injury that took a while to get healed. And the Bucks went out there and got Kenneth Gainwell for a 2-year, $14 million, 10 guaranteed.
Mhm.
So not
Okay,
a big boy
bad-
contract, but it's
not a big contract, but not a bad oh
Yeah.
crap contract.
exactly.
So-
I think this is kind of right on the wall to have insurance policy because Rashad
Yeah.
White definitely. It looks like this dude's aged incredibly since
Mhm.
the second or third year in the league. And I think it's right on the wall for him is that they're like, we're not going to re-sign you. We want to bring someone in that's could be a compliment or a one-to-one replacement with Bucky in there. I don't think net negatively hurts him, but I think they're going back to a split backfield, a 50-50 split.
Yeah. It
Michael
seems that
Shanoudy's
way.
joining us.
But I feel like they need to run a split with all the injury history that we have in Tampa Bay running back. As much as I like Bucky Irving being a primary guy there, I don't want him to have his career cut short because he's hurt so much.
You saw what? Look at you kind of cut out there.
Oh no, you're good. I don't want him to lose his touches in a split backfield when I think it's for the betterment for his career because of just how bad his injury history is.
Yeah, no, 100%. What's going on, Mike? We can't see you. I don't know if that's designed on purpose, but
Yeah. Give me like 10, 15 minutes, and I'll put my camera on. I know you guys are talking Kenneth Gainwell, and then I heard you guys were talking about my beloved Steelers and all that. I love the two moves we made. That we finally got a tandem at wide receiver, a tandem at corner, but no quarterback. So it's always the same. We fix problems, and then we have one huge one always. But I know what I heard Wiz talk about, like how is Pittman and DK going to work together. I think in this offense that McCarthy is going to put together, we're going to see a Jordy Nelson-esque and Devontae Adams-esque kind of play call. Like they're going to be outside. Now, who plays the who's going to play the Cobb role? Roman Wilson, of course, is the biggest one, but they're still the 21st pick overall. So they could go Casey Concepcion, or however you say his name, or Denzel Boston, who I need to watch more film on. Maybe he could play the slot. So far, they still have money to spend on wide receivers. I know there's still Romeo Dobbs out there, Juwan Jennings. Like obviously these are bigger names, but with Evans going to the 49ers, Jennings might be at a cheap price. So yeah, and then Kenneth Gainwell leaving. Let's not all jump on the Caleb Johnson train just yet, but that's everybody's initial reaction. We could go after Rico Dowdle. We could go after somebody in the draft. Just everybody pump their brakes on Caleb Johnson. He can't field a punt, so let's not jump on a guy real quick.
I like Rico going wherever he ends up going. I'm not even going to say a spot because, I mean, if you can succeed in Carolina behind that line that's not top tier, you can probably damn near succeed anywhere, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, Caleb Johnson, who won our worst best fumble of the year. That was Mike's nomination, even though technically it wasn't a fumble. Mine was Emari DeMarcado, his fumble, the $250,000 fumble.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Afterwards got fined. No, I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Mike, that I don't think Caleb Johnson was the answer because you guys got him in the third round, right? It was third round draft capital.
Third round draft capital, and then like the Big Ten plays, whatever. So
yeah, against that really good Iowa offensive line, and it's not Mike McCarthy's guy. He didn't draft him. It's third round draft capital. See teams walk away from second round draft capital. Trey Sermon, before, and to me, yeah, they're probably going to bring someone in. I mean, Rico Duato, he's still out there.
yeah,
I think. But Jay Warren's probably that guy that's going to lead the backfield, at least for this season. I think he's going to be safe for one more year. I would be surprised if bringing Rashad White in, just a guy to have a little different skill set for compared to Jay Warren, which is kind of a guy that just runs full steam ahead. So
yeah. I'm excited to see because Mike McCarthy isn't a guy that's just going to sit on his laurels with one guy. I mean, we all know what he did in Green Bay and everything like that. And I don't know if everybody's like, oh, is Warren a 15 to 20 touch guy? Because he hasn't really done that just yet. I'm like, if it's Aaron Rodgers, dude, like Aaron Rodgers is going to feed him like a freaking, like a starving child in Africa. He's just going to give him the ball 25 million times. He can run the ball. I'm excited for Warren to have the primary share of the backfield, but we'll see. Because if it was Mike Tomlin, I would say, yeah, they're going to bring somebody for sure. But McCarthy, he could do it. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about. Let's see. I mean, the Bucs also brought in Alex Anzalone.
Yeah.
With Kenneth Gainwell in there, they did lose Dean. Right? You guys Steelers picked him up.
We picked up Dean, and then they lost Evans. They picked up Kenneth Gainwell, and then they haven't really done too much other than that. Gainwell
What's the word on? Sorry, you go ahead.
No. I was gonna say that really the two is Anzalone and Gainwell. That's the only two big acquirees so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the word? Because I know you're more into the Steelers than I am. What's the word on Patrick Queen? Have we heard anything about what's going on there? Because last I heard he was a cut candidate.
Well, I don't know because they re-signed Holcomb, but I think that was more of a special team re-signing. Patrick Queen, I think they're going to be more likely to cut Jalen Ramsey over him with the way the salary cap is, because now with the Dean signing, Elliott coming back from an injury, I don't know what they're going to do. Patrick Queen, I think, is safe for one more year. He didn't have a bad season last year. It wasn't. I mean, the way we signed him from that All-Pro year that he had with the Ravens has been just piss poor. He's
not been that same guy, which doesn't help.
Not a one.
But
yeah, I mean, Wiz could tell you that we got really, really into the weeds with that one. The Ravens really just was like, whoever wants to pay him, and we ended up doing it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, no, and that's just turned down too, but
yeah,
we just all fight each other twice a year, so it's fine. But I love how this is the group that we dwindled down to. It's a Bengals fan, a Ravens fan, and a Steelers fan. So this is how we go.
North.
Oh well, so here's something funny. Me and my buddies that we had the three of us, which were Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, and then my buddy has started playing Madden with us, and he's like, you know what? I'm picking the Cleveland Browns because we're doing rebuilds. Well, and then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a Browns fan. So I found a Browns shirt at TJ Maxx and I bought it for him. So now we've completed. My friend group has completed the AFC North gauntlet of having all of us. So we all just trash talk each other now.
That's awesome. I'm trying to see what other. I mean, Tyler Algier. We touched a little bit on the Cardinals, but they have not done anything outside him.
The biggest thing with the Cardinals, and this is kind of crazy, because Trey Benson is done. Like, let's just put a fork, and then DeMarcado. Because I think they restructured. If I'm not, if you want to look it up, they restructured. Or they're talking to Connor about structuring his contract. So I think Algier. Okay, so I think Algier is going to be the top handcuff this coming draft, like for startups and for Dynasty. I would buy him low. Just some people are very, um, he's going to be like those guys. He's always injured and handcuff. Let's just call it that. And then we'll see what quarterback comes. So we'll see. We'll see. That's the biggest thing.
We could go over to the Chargers. Chargers lost their guard, Zion Johnson, to the Browns, but then they signed Charlie Kohler, Ravens tight end there, which is, I mean, he's a blocky tight end. He can catch the football, but he's not an elite burner by any means. He's not.
He's not a dynasty ass proc. He's not a dynasty guy or even a fantasy football guy. He'll have one or two games a year, and that's about it. And I mean, the one game a year will probably happen against the Bengals. So, but we just love letting what was the quote from him? They never expected the white guy at tight end. So you know how it goes. We just can't seem to do anything with it. But when you have that two-headed monster that they had of Likely and Andrews, that is now disbanded, you can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of predicted Ravens gonna have a pretty quiet free agency over there.
Seems like a lot of loss.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson went to the Falcons. Not really a fantasy guy, but kind of pivots over there to what are the Falcons doing? Is Darnell Mooney still going to be beneficial for the team as a two? If he's still going to be there, Shanuti, I see he's trying to turn on his camera.
I think they just need someone that will help, like, get the guys off of Drake London, and it will be good for Moody to stay. But do I think it's a long-term solution? No, I think it's a very short-term for a long-term fix.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's not something that's nothing too crazy there for sure. Just trying to go over a bunch of stuff, make sure I'm not missing anything here. I think has the Lions done anything yet?
I don't think so.
I think they signed a center. They, I don't know. We need to share in here so you can get a rant going. I want to.
Veteran Larry Borum for the Lions. I don't know if he's what position he plays, but that's the newest pickup 3 minutes ago from Tom Pelissero per rap sheet. So.
All right. They also signed center Cade Mays, which you were talking about the Panthers' offensive line being so good, and that's why Rico Duatos did so well, right?
Yeah. Here, Commanders are re-signing Marcus Mariota to another year.
Yeah, it makes sense that you fit well enough there.
Yeah, Alontae Taylor is going to the Titans on a 3-year, $60 million deal, leaving the Saints. Apparently, Brian Cook is expected to sign with the Bengals.
Yeah, that's a safety from
from the Chiefs.
Yep. Yeah, I know defensive side of the ball sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but we have so many holes. I don't think it's worth it. Beside the point.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Hendrickson does not seem like he's in a rush to sign anywhere yet. That's kind of that seems to right on the wall. I think. What teams do you think are in on him? Like the biggest one that stands out for me, which I don't know if they can make the cap work, is Chicago, because they were in on Max Crosby. They offered the same deal Baltimore, but obviously Bears had a later first round pick.
Later pick. I thought, I think the Bears are probably the best spot for him due to the fact that uh, the Ravens just signed or just got Crosby. I really thought he was going to go to the Ravens because of what the team needed, but seeing he went there instead.
Yeah, seems like the Cowboys are in on him as well, which makes sense. They need a backfill, Micah Parsons, Micah Parsons, but it's just I don't know if that's a permanent solution there, or that's a realistic one for them. Also, Bills could possibly be in on Hendrickson, which makes sense there.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of free agents I think are still out there. I mean, Trey Hendrickson is definitely the biggest one, and he's gonna get. This is his last contract. Really, he's 31 years old. So, just trying to see what are some big ones coming up here. Still hanging out.
Who I was going to say, who is the next? Like, who's currently the top of the list right now for open guys on the market?
Well, you obviously. Oh, Teixeira's coming in.
Oh, there we go.
Teixeira, buddy.
I have arrived.
Okay.
You ready to talk about your lines? You guys have had a real quiet free agency so far. Are you guys gonna turn up the volume here soon?
Very quiet, but even that subtlety, effective. I think what they did today by signing the offensive lineman that they did, first off, that center in Mays is a solid, probably one of the top centers outside of Lindenbaum is still available on free agency to lock him up for 3 years. That will do us well as far as what our pursuits are as the Detroit Lions in the draft and shuffling that line around, even with Taylor Decker leaving. And this new guy from the Dolphins, let's just call a spade a spade. It isn't great or stellar by any means, but it's simple and effective, and I think it'll give them depth at the very least and help give them some reinforcement so that they're able to do more in the draft and look elsewhere, relying solely before this free agency started on panicking about the offensive line holes that they had.
Yeah, I mean, there's hope. There's hope there for you guys. There's still a decent amount coming around. So I just saw that Darnell Mooney was released from the Falcons, so he's not a free agent.
So that makes sense for Jahan Dotson and Alide Zaccheaus going there, because that'll give whoever's throwing in Atlanta some more weapons to work with outside of Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I think they'll be a solid wide receiver 3 or 4 options in fantasy. And definitely you can roster them if you have space on your rosters, but neither of those guys, like you guys mentioned earlier, people that you're trying to actively pursue and put draft capital in and trying to get or trading players for.
Yeah.
My rule for cuts, real quick, and on a dynasty aspect, my rule for cuts is not to cut anyone until after free agency and the draft is done.
Good point.
Because I've been bit one too many times where I will cut someone and they'll end up getting signed and someone will pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even run the risk until, no matter how over my roster is right now, I will just let it sit until free agency's done. And if it's a guy I really like, I'll even keep him on my roster after.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, especially, there's not a rush for a lot of these guys either to sign contracts right now, right? They want to see where the market's at, see where the best land situation. Like Joey Bosa is still out there in free agency, right? I think he's an immediate guy that could add some value to a defensive line there. I mean, has seen his better years, but he's still an effective guy. And you saw it in Buffalo this season. Not maybe so for fantasy, for IDP purposes, unless you guys correct me. Maybe he had a really good IDP league, but I thought he just did his job as an NFL guy, I felt like. But Kyler Murray is still lingering around there. Top spots still are Minnesota, Atlanta, and the Jets, I guess, is probably a top spot. I wouldn't put him as a top spot. Hopefully he does not go to the Jets for any of his fantasy value, but Miami's out on him now, obviously with Malik Willis. So if you guys had to put your flag in the ground, where's he going to go?
Who are we talking about? My bad.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Oh, Kyler. He'll find a home. He'll probably be a backup to a guy with another running quarterback style. It'd be real funny if he ends up in Baltimore as the backup in case Lamar gets hurt again. But I think his best option is to go somewhere where they're used to having a running quarterback. It would. I mean, the Dolphins wouldn't be terrible, but they're probably gonna run Malik Willis out there with the money they just paid him.
Yeah.
He could go to the Chiefs, considering how long. The question is still in the air on how long Mahomes is going to be out. Sign him to like a 1 year or something.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Those are interesting
Trying to
spots.
see-
I know I talked about it on the latest Whistle to Whistle episode about my top landing spot for Kyler would be going to the Atlanta Falcons with the retool there. They've had a history of mobile quarterbacks in their franchise, and I think with the weapons that they have there now, tooling them, that'd be good for them for fantasy purposes. But I think the front runner NFL wise is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're really taking a hard look at him and to bring him in. Probably those would be my two landing spots that would be fantasy relevant for him still, where he could be effective for us to have on rosters and to potentially throw in starting positions. But outside of that, I would hate for him to go to somewhere like the Raiders or something where they got another guy coming in to give him competition, and then it's just going to kill his fantasy value.
Yeah. Real quick, I did a little digging onto CBS's website for free agency. Of the top 15 guys that they say are in free agency, only 5 of them have not been signed yet based on what they have updated. So it's got Devin Lloyd, Boye Mafe, Kyler Murray, Odefe Owe, and then Trey Hendrickson. So
Interesting.
that's of the top 15. And this might not be completely up to date yet, so that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people there, and it's just kind of figuring out of where these guys are going to go. I mean, there's still a lot of good wide receivers out there. There's a lot of question marks that have not been solidified. I think Kyler Murray to the Steelers make a lot of sense if Aaron Rodgers is not going to go. Tight ends, there's still some pretty good tight ends out there. I mean, Dallas Goedert's a free agent right now. There was another one. I was just looking at his name. I just lost it.
I think didn't Bellinger just get to Tennessee?
Who?
Daniel Bellinger, the former Giants tight end.
He might have, which wouldn't be surprising. They've already signed 3 Giants former players now, or 4. Yeah, it's just I wouldn't say it's been lackluster because there's been a lot of movements right away in the first day, which used to take a little bit, but now we're kind of slowing down because it's coming towards the end of the day here. But it's all in all, I mean, day one of free agency, what team do you think's done the most, and would you guys give your A grades to? I mean, it's probably coming off the top of that, so you guys have to kind of memorize where everyone went. But or we could just go team by team right now of what they've done, and let's do it that way because it'll probably be easier.
To stay focused. My brain is just everywhere.
So Cardinals, the only real addition they've done was adding Tyler Algier. They re-signed their kicker and punter, so that's cool.
Well, it's effective for special teams. I mean, field position, it gives their defense a better opportunity to get off the field better if they're pinning teams deep. But other than that,
yeah, it's definitely not a wowing thing. But they also have a lot of holes that I think they're not too eager to plug right away. And then going over to the Falcons, Kirk Cousins, Yahoo has him to be released. Who knows if that's going to happen? They obviously lost that Algier. Darnell Mooney was released. Leonard Floyd's unrestricted free agent. Kyle Pitts is on a non-exclusive franchise tag. They signed Zacchaeus, Austin Hooper to a 1-year deal, Nick Folk to a 2-year deal, Jahan Dotson to a 2-year deal, and then they added Cameron Thomas, which is defensive edge, for a 1-year, $3.1 million deal.
I think I would give the Falcons probably like a high C, low B as far as fantasy wise, because depending on the quarterback that they bring in there, Zacchaeus and Dotson, I mean, for dynasty purposes, they are a bit on the younger side of, I believe, and have still some unproven talent, but they're also volatile assets that you could take flyers on the waiver or have them in a throw-in deal. Like they're more appealing now going to Atlanta than they were in the previous spot they were in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, just quiet, but it's kind of just figuring out what they're going to do, what's their plans. But I think the biggest tell is bringing Austin Hooper and Mike Chanu's come back in the stream.
Oh, you just can't.
Welcome back, Mike.
Boys.
Right now, we're kind of just recapping the free agency here. We're giving grades. We're on the Falcons right now. But what I was going to add is Austin Hooper, good blocking tight end. I think it's solidifying that they want to run the football. And that's kind of what sticks out to me is that they're going to use Bijan Robinson this season.
Yeah, a lot of their signings were interesting. Like they got back Zacchaeus, they got back Hooper. They got a couple guys on the defensive line. Now it's a weak division and stuff like that.
And Jahan Dotson, don't forget about former first round.
Yeah. So if Mooney comes back or not, I mean, this is like
they released him, so he's gone.
Yeah, so it's like a mid wide receiver room. And then if it's Tua throwing him the football, which would be the icing on the cake, I'd give it a solid C. So I don't know.
I think that's a good grade.
Yeah, I think it's just middle of the pack stuff that they're doing just to keep water. To me, really, this division is still up for grabs between the Bucs, the Saints, and the Panthers. Not really the Falcons. So.
Yep. Next up is Baltimore. Obviously, lost Tyler Lindenbaum, Isaiah Likely. I'm trying to see. Charlie Kohler. And then they still have Kyle Van Noy out there, not signed. David Ajobu. Patrick Ricard, he's a free agent. Would hate to see him go. Daniel Falele, I hope he goes and does not come fucking back anywhere near the city of Baltimore. We'll send him back to Pittsburgh. I'd like to see him there. I think it's a good spot for him. And
Are we worried about Falele's life if he comes back to Baltimore?
F-.
You probably shouldn't be. But I don't think
you shouldn't
anywhere
be,
in
but
the
I wouldn't
city
be
of Baltimore
surprised.
wants him nearby. I think they might need a police escort to the stadium if he comes back to Baltimore, though. But
yeah.
And then they brought in guard John Simpson. I could not tell you where the fuck he played. They signed a 3-year, $3 million deal. I don't know what team he came from. Don't recognize the name, so that's kind of concerning. Maybe you guys know.
I'm not familiar with that name.
Say that again. Sorry. What?
John Simpson.
Jets.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Let me see if I can live it. Am I right?
Yeah, he's the Jets. I just
no.
looked it up.
There it is.
Oh, God damn it. All right. Well, we got Falele B2, it looks like, here, and that's the only thing we did in the free agency besides obviously Max Crosby. But
Max Crosby is all you need. I think at that point.
yeah, just give us a B grade just because of Max Crosby.
I think the Max Crosby thing holds it up to a B from a C. Like,
I mean, I was gonna say a D. No offense, not because it's the Ravens, but
but fantasy wise, I think they're kind of lacking, especially if they move on. From, you're saying Keaton Mitchell is a potential.
Yeah, he's an unrestricted guy.
Yeah.
I'd give it a solid C,
Yeah.
C to B range. But even for fantasy, as one of the few of us on the network who plays IDP consistently,
Hmm.
getting Max Crosby in there will definitely help me and our IDP listeners out
Are
if they have
you,
him.
now that Crosby's a Raven, are you now selling him high, or are you trying to
I'm gonna
buy
wait.
him?
Now,
I
keep-
mean, I'm not saying buy him or sell him. I'm saying
Mhm.
sit on him because I'm not sure exactly how well he's going to perform in Baltimore. Because
Okay.
if Harbaugh and that system and everyone was still there, I'd say I'd buy him. But
Okay.
with the whole faculty getting switched over, I'm in a question mark here.
Biggest
I'm in
question mark, I
uncharted
think,
territory.
is, and for IDP wise, probably the biggest guy that's probably the cheapest that has the biggest potential for Baltimore this coming season is Mike Green. I like
Yeah.
Mike Green a
Oh.
lot. He was a guy that was.
I think he led him
Problem
with
with Mike
sacks
Green
last
is
year.
that, yeah, he was
had a
their
bunch
second
of
round. He was
character
projected higher,
concerns.
but he had some off the
Mhm.
field issues going on that pushed him
Yeah.
out of there. And we got a pretty good spot where he got him in the second round. It's just he needs to put more weight on. I think he needs to reform a lot
Yeah.
of his technique. He got bodied a lot at the offensive line. Couldn't get off the line that well.
I think though that this Crosby signing for IDP
Helps
purposes, it helps buy in on this secondary, buy him cheap, because with getting more pressure on the O line, I think those defenders in the secondary are going to be able to operate more freely and have more
Yeah.
bigger boom games.
Yeah. The Bills, Terry and Johnson to be released. Joey Bosa is unrestricted free agent. Taylor
I
Rapp
thought
to be
they
released.
traded him with the Raiders. They swapped 6s and
Oh,
7s.
it might have been. I'm just reading off Yahoo. So
Oh,
you
okay.
might, yeah. Curtis Samuel to be released and Dane
Okay.
Jackson to be released.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Brandon Cooks is a free agent, and the only additions they've done was they signed guard Connor McGovern to a 4-year, $52 million
Mhm.
extension, and they acquired DJ Moore in a 6th round for a 2nd round pick.
So is a B to me because of that. Because I think Connor McGovern, after seeing the Lindenbaum contract, I think them getting him back for what they got him is great.
Mhm.
DJ Moore being, for me, I think he's going to be great with Allen. I think that makes it a B for me. I know they didn't really do too much so far, but I mean, like we're saying, this is just the first wave. They could get some post-cut guys to fill in for some vet minimums, so we'll see.
I think though that, even though this is days ago, but like that DJ Moore signing, I think that's phenomenal. It gives me a little bit of seller's remorse because I was selling DJ Moore all last year, and you could probably get more of a haul for DJ Moore now that he's in Buffalo, had you held on to him. But
he's going for that 1.9. We went through this before, and obviously Bob said he would rather have more than the 1.9. The other ones was RJ Harvey or Alec Pierce. And those are kind of.
I think I would have DJ Moore over both of those.
Over all three, or are you gonna take the pick?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go over all three. I'll take DJ Moore just because the ceiling in that offense is more value that I perceive. You're gonna get it at the 109 or with Harvey, which they're really trying to. It sounds like make it a committee or a split backfield in Denver, and Alec Pierce I think is mostly a one-trick pony and a really like good wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 with upside if he has those boom games.
Yeah. Carolina Panthers, they obviously lost their center. Rico Dowdle is a free agent. Offensive tackle Yosh Nijman is a free agent. The safety Nick Scott is a free agent. But they brought in Jalen Phillips to a 4-year, $120 million deal, which is one of the sneakier edge guys in there.
Mm-hmm. He was good with the Eagles last year. He just came in halfway through the year.
Yeah, he
was good with the Dolphins before he got hurt too. So
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, this is a signing it's gonna be good for their line, hopefully. But there's still question marks. Is he gonna be able to stay healthy, and he's gonna be able to live up to, or continue his trajectory that he was playing in.
Do you think where do you guys project Rico Dottle going? Staying with Carolina, or where do you want him to end up for fantasy?
Pittsburgh makes a lot of sense to me. That's the first thing that
Okay.
jumps out. But honestly, if I think he's a guy that's gonna be good, complimentary piece in a committee. I think he's just real flexible. He's a Jack Art. He's a Swiss
Mhm.
knife really in the backfield. There, he can play any style of running you need him to play, and that's kind of what he excels at. So I think Steelers make the most sense for him. I wouldn't hate to see him in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Trying to think. Trying to think where else would be a good landing
If they
spot
don't
for
lock
him.
down Chase Brown, I don't know what his contract's like, but if
Yeah,
they don't-
he's still there.
He's
But
still
I
got
but
2
beyond
3
that,
years.
but
yeah, he
Yeah.
still has
Oh,
like
okay.
2 years. I think he's up in 28, 27.
I was
But,
gonna say
I-
he's very young. He's still on his rookie
Mhm.
deal.
yeah.
So, but I think it's just somewhere where he doesn't have to be the lead, that you could bring him in, or he could be the lead, just have another guy behind him. And I think that's where he's going to excel at. But there's not really too many vacant jobs that are really sticking out to me.
Do you think I know they just recently had some O-line shuffling going on, but do you think he would be a sneaky good successor for Derrick Henry in Baltimore? Because how much longer do you think Henry's got?
That's a good.
Well,
That's a,
I would.
Because if they pitch it like, hey, we're gonna Henry for another year or two, but after that, you're the guy.
I just think the way Baltimore's roster is kind of constructed
Mhm.
right now, structured right now, is they would not bring him in because he's probably gonna want a Kenneth Gainwell style deal of 14, maybe more $1 million in a 2-year window. And for us, we need to use that cap space elsewhere. We have more holes than to have a complimentary piece behind. Because I think Justice Hill, he's not going to wow the world, but he's efficient enough to be back there. And I wouldn't be surprised if we bring in a lower end guy, or we take, because there's always running backs you can draft in the later rounds that can be beneficial, and you could find those diamonds in the rough. So
I think that was my first option, at least for the AFC. For the NFC, I think a good fit for him now would be going to the Seattle Seahawks.
I literally was going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
so,
good.
oh, and Mike,
no.
you pitch for the Seahawks. I pitched him for the Ravens. You can pitch him for the Seahawks.
I mean, we saw Kenneth leave. Charbonnet's probably not going to be ready. He's a cheap option to just go there and like take over the backfield. Is Charbonnet like the guy to take over a backfield? We don't know. But like with that injury, they have a title defense to go after. So they might just want to go all in. They lost Kobe Bryant. They just re-signed some other corner. So they have like money to spend. The problem is they're probably going to have to give JSN the biggest wide receiver contract known to man.
But that's a problem down the road, though. You know?
Yeah, kick that can a little bit further.
But we know that these guys like their money faster rather than later. So we'll see. So
yeah. Next up is the Bears. Emmons got released. Drew Dahlman, their center, retired. Kevin Byers, unrestricted free agent. Deshaun Wright's unrestricted free agent, and then Brisker's unrestricted free agent. They signed DeMarco Jackson to a 2 years, $7.5 million deal. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore to a 2 year, $12 million deal. Signed Kobe Bryant to a 3 year, $40 million, and then brought in Devin Bush on a 3 year, $30 million deal.
Really,
and then obviously traded DJ Moore. And then they traded for center Garrett Bradbury from New England. So
not bad. I think I give the Bears a solid B. Like if they can get a secondary help, because unless if they bring all those guys back, they're going to need the depth, or they just attack that position in the draft. But I like what they've done so far. With their free agency, and I think getting the second round pick for DJ Moore was good compensation.
Yeah,
and I give it a solid B. It's pushed into A territory depending on what other further moves they got going on, but it's a solid B for me.
To me, with the Kobe Bryant deal, is that they're not going to re-sign Brisker. Brisker was probably the high. He's looking to be probably the highest paid in this free agent class here. So that's the right on the wall is they're not going to bring him back. He's gone.
The good
Kevin
news.
Byron could be back, but then again, I think they have another safety they like back there. I can't remember his fucking name now.
If I was in the chair, I think I'd be comfortable letting him walk if the price gets too high to bring him back.
I think
Yeah,
with for the Bengals, I think it's just the writing on the wall of what to expect, and I don't think the Bengals or the Bears were going to do that with Brisker,
Okay.
especially with like you guys said. Byron,
Wasn't he hurt too?
He was
Yeah,
hurt.
he was hurt for most of the year.
Okay.
Had a good year, and then I forgot. You're
Mhm.
right. I don't know who the other safety is.
Kevin Byard was back there, but he's a free agent. But I think they had another one back there. I think they rotated 3 guys because Brisker was hurt,
What's his name?
and I think he's still there with them.
He's still there. I don't remember his
Not
name.
a rookie, is it? I can't remember.
Who?
I don't think it's a rookie, is it? Hold on, let me look.
I think it's if not a rookie, a younger guy. Was it Stevenson or am I?
No, he's a corner.
Yeah, he's a corner.
Stevenson's the corner. I'm coming down off my monster. I'm yawning.
I know.
Oh no!
Oh,
Jonathan Owens.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Owen.
Okay.
Mr. What's his name? Biles.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
if all those guys walk, Wiz, what do you think about the idea of them attacking the secondary in the draft in the second round?
If they could trade up to get Ohio State's safety, I forget his fucking name,
Ooh.
but
That would be scary.
yeah, Caleb Downs. The problem is that he's projected to be a top 5 pick, and I don't think Bears want to spend that much capital in there.
Okay.
Also, I wouldn't keep them out of the running for Trey Hendrickson. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep pounding the table for him.
Damn. Sorry, guys.
It just can make the cap space work because they're gonna have to re-sign Caleb here coming up in the next couple seasons.
I
So-
think it's a lot of parallels with the Lions too. It's just with the kind of money you're going to have to give him. It's just with it at his age and injury history. I mean, the name value, the productivity up to this point is cool and everything, but people
The
are
name
due
value only
paychecks
gets you
at
so
some
far.
point.
Yeah.
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 Your old edge rusher, Odafe Oe, or however you say, he's the one that went to the Chargers, just signed with the Commanders for $100 million for 4 years.
I didn't catch
Well,
that.
we
There was a
traded
lot of
we
truck
traded
that
him
was
to the
finally what
Chargers
happened.
for Gilliman, and
Yeah.
I think we got a pick back too with that deal, or maybe we just traded 1 for 1.
Is insane.
What
I
just
think it was a
happened?
pick swap.
Yeah.
But that is insane. I didn't think he was that. He's definitely not worth that kind of capital.
Help me with
Who?
the pronunciation. Yeah, I don't.
Odefe Owe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Adefe Owe? I mean,
4 years,
not-
$100 million is a lot of money for him.
he's not worth that.
Yeah.
He broke out with the Chargers, but I don't think he
Yeah.
broke out $100 million.
Well,
Yeah.
he did well for
That's
the
a little
Ravens
rich.
the year before in 25,
Yeah.
and then we obviously get our
Is he younger or what's the other
Yeah,
appeal
yeah,
with
he's
him?
He's like no
rookie deal.
older than like 28. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not.
Okay, well,
Breakout star next to Green. I forgot the guy who's like working out now, and he's supposed to be the best rusher. They moved him for Gilman because of that guy. But I mean, Wiz probably knows better than I am.
or
Mike Green, probably.
are you talking about Mike Green?
Not Mike Green, another guy. Let me look him up. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
real
What are we doing? Oh, what's up?
I was going to say, are we getting ready to move to the Bengals? Because I got
Yep.
Bengals news here.
oh, let Logan cook. His monster's wearing
yeah,
down.
yeah,
We gotta let it get the.
yeah,
fumes.
I gotta get that energy.
I'll retouch. I'll retouch everyone real quick. So obviously Trey Hendrickson's the biggest name. Joe
Yeah.
Flacco, you guys haven't resigned him. What the fuck up? What the fuck, Logan? No,
What, the 50-year-old Joe Flacco?
And then
He can still
defensive
swing
end,
it.
Joseph Osai.
Joseph
Asai.
Asai.
Yeah, Asai. Yeah.
Asai,
You guys
yeah.
brought in Dalton Reisner off.
Re-signed him to a
guard.
one-year deal, a
And then you
guard.
guys brought in safety Brian Cooks to a 3-year,
Yeah.
$42.5 million
That's
deal.
a good safety. That's very
On top
good.
of that, I just saw that Rappaport posted that we are getting Boye Mafe on a 3-year deal.
Oh,
So we get an edge rusher on top of it. So we got
Who's-
wow!
That name sounds
Tickle
so
me
familiar.
pink. The Bengals are investing on the defense.
you know what? I'm pretty pink about it too. So we're on
Yeah,
the same page
like-
here.
And you
We
guys
got-
use some
well, I
money
mean,
for an offensive line? What?
Yeah, I know, right?
3.2?
We had-
Not a lot, but
It's
we've
okay,
put
boys. We'll be
money-
playing 40 of the 60 minutes because our offense can't stay on the field.
Yeah, we've put money into the defense the past couple years. They just haven't came
Mhm.
through. Like, I mean, last year we signed Geno Stone out of the
What's
Ravens.
going on with
and
Shamar Stewart? Is he going back to college? Is he signed? What's the deal?
I think they were waiting for Hendrickson to walk or trying to use Hendrickson
Okay.
as a developmental to him. But I don't think Ray Hendrickson actually did anything. So I don't know how good
Mhm.
Shamar Stewart's actually going to end up. But Boye
Okay.
Mafe coming in is going to definitely help out. We don't have
Where
much
did
on
he
the
come from?
edges.
The,
Texas Tech, I think.
are you talking former team or are you talking college?
No, former team.
Seahawks.
Oh, Boye Mafe
Oh,
came from the Seahawks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Shamar Stewart. I think he
no,
came
no.
from Texas Tech or
You
something.
guys ever signed him? I'm just kidding.
I mean, we did eventually. Took us all freaking off season. But then we
I
got
mean, I
Brian
give
Cook,
the
which I
Bengals
think's
just
gonna be
an
nice.
IDP and NFL wise, I give them a low B, high C grade for
Yeah.
You're
what
being
they've been
generous
doing
this
so
year.
far.
You're just a hater.
I feel it's generous.
Yeah,
it
it was.
just
Well, it's
like-
because it's
like
more
Bengals-
IDP and like
It's very
NFL
IDP.
more signings than it affects us a bit.
like it's just like none of these like
Because
Brian
if their
Cooks
offense is on the
probably
field
biggest
well,
one. I mean, I guess with the, I guess since they added the edge there,
I
kinda
mean,
helps
so
out with the
our
Trey
edge is
Hendrickson,
looking
but
like Boye Mafe and Shamar Stewart, and then our defense is kind of
Mhm.
improving. It's young and it's on the
Yeah,
up climb
alright,
with
yeah.
the linebackers are
Right, just told
solid.
me,
I
Yeah.
do
I
like
would think
I like Carter. That's the guy
Derek
I've been really
Carter
pushing for
and
IDP.
what's his
Mhm.
face? Can't think of his name now. The other one we drafted this year. Can't think of his name.
Oh, that's on you. You're the Bengals fan.
I know,
Yeah.
but we need our corners to stay healthy because Cam Taylor-Britt's good whenever he's healthy. DJ Turner can be good when he's healthy. Dax Hill is Dax Hill. He's a safety at heart, but they moved him to corner because we signed Geno Stone. And I'm really concerned about what's going to happen in our safety room now that we have Stone, Brian Cook, and Jordan Battle. I don't think they moved Jordan Battle away from safety. So I think
Okay.
Cook stays the
Stone is a
start.
very flexible piece.
He is. I think he can play more corner
And-
if we need him to.
Yeah, he might be filling that slot role.
That's what I was kind of
in
thinking.
there.
Slot
You
corner.
want to have a linebacker out.
Yeah.
And he could definitely fill that linebacker role to be a smaller linebacker. He's just kind of Jack Army knife type
Yeah.
dude, Swiss Army knife type dude
Mhm.
that can fit a defense mold. He just isn't elite at any of those positions, but he can play those positions.
We need to up the.
Let's go over to the Browns now.
Yeah. Once
Okay.
that O line goes up, we'll be in better shape. But I mean, we've taken.
But it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you saw the O line we took to the Super Bowl, so
They want Burrow to die for some
It
reason.
seems like
it.
the last good offensive lineman we had.
The
was-
Minnesota Vikings are like, hey, Cincinnati, we'll offer you 3 firsts, JJ McCarthy and Jonathan Grenard. Here, give us Joe Burrow.
The last.
No, we want to kill him.
The last.
We want to Andrew Luck this man.
The last O lineman we
We
had
want
that
to
was
kill
good
him.
was Andrew Whitworth. So
Oh.
Yeah, which
He's
was how
busy.
long ago now?
yeah, it's been a while.
We'll go over to the Browns now. David Njoku is going to be a free agent. He's going to leave Browns.
Where would
which
you like
kinda
him to go
ran the
with?
weekend. Where would I want him to go?
Njoku.
I want him to go to. I think the Bengals will make some sense because they want to help Joe Burrow by not protecting him, but by giving him weapons to throw to if he could survive long enough in the back. I think
They have that
honestly
guard that's
though,
open
the
too.
most the what?
They have a offensive
Oh,
lineman guard that's
yeah.
really talented. That's on the market too.
Oh,
I can't think of his name now.
Wyatt
Teller?
Joe,
Oh no,
yeah,
Benito.
Wyatt Teller as well.
yeah, I think they're
Isn't their
entire-
whole offensive line on the
Benito.
market?
Yeah, they
Because
lost
they-
a lot already.
They're like,
But-
Shadur's doing this? We're
they
out.
just
All
signed.
right. Well, before you guys get too deep, I'm getting off here. I will talk to y'all later.
All right, buddy.
All right,
See ya.
All right,
take it
see you,
easy.
Logan. Thanks for
I'm
joining us.
looking it up. They did sign an offensive lineman from the.
Yeah, they signed Zion Johnson from the Chargers.
Okay.
3 years to $49.5 million, 32.4 guaranteed. But yeah, Njoku, I think the Colts make some sense as well there to add in there. They just got rid of Pittman. I think Njoku kind of could fit all those kind of roles a little bit there of tight end, can play the big wide receiver. There's a lot of teams that make sense for him. It's just how much money is he going to demand in the free agency? And I think that's going to be the biggest question there. But Colts stick out to me. Bengals stick out to me that they might Njoku. Maybe even the Dolphins. And that might not be the most sexy thing there.
Okay.
But that makes sense in a lot of things because they have – who else do they have there to fill that? Because Darren Waller is free agent. It doesn't make sense for them to bring him back. But then again, it doesn't make sense to do that. Bucks also makes sense for him to go there, replace K-Dot.
I wanted him to go to the Bucks, so I really disliked that. I don't know if you guys went over it yet. The K-Dot and Stan, I would have much rather have had Njoku than K-Dot if I were the Bucks.
Yeah, no, 100%. So then they lost Devin Bush, the free agency. Joe Benito is a free agent. Wyatt Teller's a free agent. Cam Robinson's free agent. Their center, Ethan Pollock, is a free agent. And the defensive line, Shelby Harris, don't know who he is. And they signed defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins to a 2-year, $12 million, and then Zion Johnson. And then they acquired right tackle Tyus Howard from the Texans in exchange for a 6th-round pick and signed him to a 3-year, $63 million extension. So they've kind of replenished that offensive line a little bit besides the guards, which is a little concerning for – they got Zion Robinson, but that run game – I think it's going to struggle a little bit there at the center. I don't want him to
for
sign
fantasy. Is this
I need the Ravens to sign a center, so any center still on the market is good for us. But.
for fantasy though, guys, are you buying low on Cleveland assets, being the state of like what their offensive line looks like, and Judkins coming off of an injury,
A nasty leg break. I'm good.
Yeah.
I think
So like, okay, so you're more in the camp of still selling your Browns and investing in them at a lower price.
Yeah, honestly, the one that might actually, I'm probably fine with selling Harold Fanning. I'll be honest. I think I'd rather have Loveland over him at this point in this day and age.
Okay.
I forgot the Colts have Tyler Warren as well.
Yeah.
So Njoku makes 0 sense to go there. Sorry for being an idiot.
That's all good. Well, I've been called an idiot because I like the idea of Njoku going to either the Lions or the Packers because of their tight end injuries that they've sustained, because Laporta isn't necessarily guaranteed 100% ready to go at the beginning of the year. Chargers have Gadsden and Will Disley. I mean, they
just brought in
it'd be good.
Kohler, but I just think
because of between the Packers and Lions, they're both offenses that feed off of production out of the tight end game, and it would be most beneficial for their quarterbacks. But again, like you were saying, it's probably too expensive of something to make happen.
Yep.
Even though for us in fantasy, we would love to see him go to offenses that are highly efficient and fantasy relevant to this point.
Yeah. I think personally, I'm going to sell anything Browns related, Fannin or Judkins. If somebody wants to give me some picks, I'm with it, because they still haven't decided on Watson or Sanders, which is kind of crazy. Todd Monken.
What would you spend on a Judkins or a Fannin, guys? Out of curiosity, is it a first for sure?
If it's a tight end premium, I'm going late first, early second for Fannin. If it's not, I would go second for sure for both. I think just the injuries kind of hurt. Like, even when he was healthy, the offensive line that they had intact was still an issue. Now that they're remaking the whole thing, Todd Monken is the offensive-minded head coach now. Liz can probably tell you more about it, but like, I'm just not sold on anything they're doing over there. So
makes sense.
I think Monken's just a placeholder there. I think they're gonna. He's not for a long head coach there. I honestly would use Harold Fanning to tear up into Loveland or Warren.
Like Fannin in a first for Loveland.
I probably wouldn't play it first, but maybe guys like if people are higher on David Montgomery. Go to the Texans. I would do that.
Okay.
Matthew Golden, that'd be fine throwing him in that
Ooh,
deal.
yeah.
Michael, I feel Michael Pittman's value is down right now. I think he's gonna be a good buy low going into the season. But just guys like that, probably around that mid early second to throw in on top of
Okay.
Harold Fanning to get Loveland or Warren, or maybe I would throw a mid first on top to get McBride or Bowers.
Because I've been seeing in leagues I am in, people have been moving him for. Obviously, they've been spending up for Loveland, but for Luther Burden. Yeah.
I would trade Fanning 1-for-1 for Odunze. I would not trade 1-for-1 for Burden.
Okay.
And I feel like the value
Are
is
those values
all
getting
over the place
misconstrued
between
between Adunze and Burden right now, do you think?
the values are so iffy on both of them. Yeah, like some people
Mhm.
value Rome more than Burden, and other people value Burden more than Rome. I mean, I like Rome more than Burden,
Me too, agreed.
and I think he should be worth more. And if Burden's going for the prices of Odunze, I'm fine with selling Burden.
Okay.
I don't think he's gonna be a guy that's gonna break you if you miss out on him. But I mean, honestly, like if I could trade Harold Fanning and Burden to get Bowers, I would do that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Or even
just-
Trey McBride with the quarterback questions.
yeah,
Like if you
even
can't
Trey
get
McBride.
Bowers. Okay.
Yeah, just because how much hype he's their focal point in that offense. So to me that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I think with Burns in the camp of selling and Roman's more of a camp of buying.
Okay.
Just of perceived values,
good to
but
know.
it's different from league to league. It depends how much Kool-Aid they're sipping from each side. We go over the Cowboys. They lost Clowney, Donovan Wilson, Dante Fowler, and Logan Wilson. George Pickens is obviously still on that non-exclusive franchise tag, and they acquired edge Rasheem Gary from the Packers in exchange for a 2027 fourth-round pick. So they haven't done anything yet. Jerry's not opened up a checkbook, but rumors are they're in on Hendrickson. So we'll see how true those rumors are.
They
What about maybe bringing Rico back, or they settled with Javante in that backfield, or what do you?
Oh, they
guys
did
think?
sign Javante. I forget what
They
it's
did?
not on here,
Okay.
but yeah, they signed that 3-year deal.
Wow.
But I think it was only like $25 million. So it's pretty
Okay.
team-friendly deal.
They signed a safety. They've gotten an edge rusher. We know that their problems is mainly on defense and offense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that
That offensive line can definitely be improved upon.
better.
Oh yeah.
Javante running back there looked pretty good, and them signing him back was kind of a shock because that was a landing spot for me for Love in the draft because I was like,
Ooh.
Jerry would not. I mean, he didn't sign Rico after what Rico
Mhm.
did, so I was like, he's probably that for Javante. Then they signed him. They restructured, I think, Dak and CD's contracts to free up space to get these defensive guys. So this tells me that they're going to go either offensive line or defense in the draft, not really a weapon. So, and they have two first round picks for next year. So everybody's loading up for that draft, getting ready to do whatever they need to do. So I give it a B.
Yeah, it's very lackluster. Not really much,
Mhm.
but Jerry's. I think he's trying to get the flash guy, which is Hendrickson, and it makes sense that they're slow rolling. He's not eager to sign a contract right away because he doesn't need to. There's a lot of people out there actively pursuing him. So, all right, I'll probably give him a C plus. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm in the C camp. I don't think I can go higher.
where they could go if they sign Hendrickson, I think that could look to a B plus or maybe an A minus, jumping up that far because I think they've done a fairly good job. They just still have a lot of. I think Logan Wilson makes a lot of sense coming back if they re-sign him. But going to the Broncos, they lost John Franklin Myers. He went to He went
to the Titans.
Yeah, he went to the
Ooh.
Titans.
Okay.
Alex Singleton's still a free agent, which they need to go ahead and sign him pretty soon. They signed offensive tackle Alex Pejewski. Don't know how to say his name.
Nice.
2-year, $9.5 million deal. I brought in quarterback Sam Ellinger to a 1 year worth $2 million, and then
Okay.
signed J.K. Dobbins. We've not seen the contract so far for that, but I think that speaks volumes that they like their running backs there that they had. So I think RJ Harvey's safe. I think it's a good time that if you were in the camp, I think the Ryan's on the wall anyways that are going to not really bring anyone in. I think J.K. Dobbins, it could bring him back to a 2-year deal. I think this is a good time to go ahead and shoot some offers out for RJ Harvey if you choose to acquire him. Not saying I'm overly actively pursuing him, but I think at this point, right, I would tear off at Judkins to get RJ Harvey if that is still a thing to do. How do you guys feel about their hires? I mean, obviously, Alex Singleton's probably the biggest one they need to bring back still.
Yep.
But
I surprisingly like the idea of bringing that Ehlinger guy in a 1 year just until Mo Nix is back, because what we saw of what's his face in the playoff game, they could use some help at quarterback until Mo
Jarrett
is
Stidham.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Mike, you got anything to add about the Broncos here?
I think the Broncos are just with the J.K. Dobbins move, it's kind of writing on the wall that they don't trust R.J. Harvey. It's a Sean Payton kind of thing that he did in Saintsville too with Alvin Kamara. I think they still need to do something at the wide receiver position. That's my biggest thing. Like they don't have anyone outside. I mean, like Franklin, all that stuff. They need to do something with that.
Go get a BTJ.
Something, because right now, if you look at the Chiefs are loading up again. Like if Holmes is there,
they just traded. They lost their safety. They lost Trent McDuffie.
Yeah,
like
they
the
lost
defense
half
is
their defense.
falling.
The defense has no secondary, but I mean, shit.
Hey, if the Chiefs go and get
Steve Spagnuolo is
BTJ
the guy
over
that
them, there's gonna
make
be
anyone
trouble.
play those positions. So
Right. And I mean, like, it's not far fetched that, I mean, they still have their draft pick, right? And they still have, they got the Rams draft pick or the Falcons or whoever's picking.
yeah, the Rams did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they'll probably do something in the draft for defense. And I'm personally, the Broncos to me is a D just because they're just like, they were Bo Nix probably playing away from the Super Bowl. And I just feel like they anything to further their cause to help out. I think the other three teams, even the Raiders, did enough to improve, but they didn't. So
Do you think this could be a potential landing spot for Dowdle?
Dowdle could. I mean, no. I mean, with the Dobbins re-signing, that's kind of tough, right? 'Cause,
Okay.
like, I think Dowdle. I mean, the places we said, Seattle, Pittsburgh, those are the places because they have those like actual like roles for him. I don't know where he would fit in the Broncos because it'd be just a muddled backfield. So
Yeah, sure. I just was entertaining that idea, maybe.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Chanudi. I think quite the opposite. That they brought J.K. Dobbins back. I think it's a familiarity piece there, and he looked good when he was healthy. It just everyone knows J.K. Dobbins can't survive a season, so I think that just speaks volumes that they trust R.J. Harvey. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a guy later because everyone drafts running backs later, especially when you're down in the seventh. You're like, who else is on our fucking board? And they're like, well, there's this running back from bumfuck nowhere.
Mississippi State.
Let's bring him in to see if he's got anything. If not, we'll cut him. It's very transactional. But overall, I mean, it's their defense has definitely gotten worse, but it's almost reminiscing of Baltimore after they made it to the AFC Championship.
I know.
So you think for fantasy purposes, we could see like a downswing in production from these?
Well, it just as an NFL purposes, I think it's be a downswing in there. I think they outproceeded or they overdid expectations this season. And like Baltimore, we lost a lot of key defensive pieces after the year we made to the championship, and we lost to the Zebras and the Chiefs. And then it's kind of like the Lions where you guys lost all your pieces. And then that window opens for that short period of time. Like Seahawks window opened up this year and they went through there and they lost some defensive pieces. We'll see if they can make it back. I think they have a really good, I mean, Mike McDonald's a fucking genius. I'm so like, if we would have let Harbaugh go and just go ahead.
It's official. Tua Tagovailoa 1 year deal, Falcons.
Hey,
what's the,
if you can't have one left, you got to have two.
The money, but they said 1 year deal. So I'm assuming this is
Probably like a 10 million, 14.
Yeah, it's a patchwork for Penis and seeing if he can come back stronger. A little wrecked. So
Yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting. I mean Kirk Cousins is gonna be gone. I wouldn't be surprised he goes back to Minnesota. I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
Or the
for him.
Jets.
Oh God, no.
Because he would
Just
have
stay
the
with
job
the
with the Jets, right?
yeah, I think the Jets' job is it's a Geno Smith job. I feel
If
like
he cares about his Achilles whatsoever, he should not go to the Jets. Anyways, we go on the lines now. Obviously, you guys had a lot of moving pieces going through. Taylor Decker was released. He requested release. You guys lost Alex Anzalone. He went to the we talked about him. I forgot Buccaneers. You guys lost Graham Glasgow.
Yep.
Al Quinn and Muhammad and Dan Skipper retired, and defensive tackle Roy Lopez, which I don't recognize that
We
name,
got
so it
them
means he
from
probably
the
didn't play.
Cardinals, so
Okay.
he
And
was
you
a
guys
cheap guy, depth piece.
Yeah, and you guys brought in Cade Mays, center out of Carolina, on a relatively cheap deal for offensive linemen. You guys traded Dave Montgomery for a 4th round, and you got offensive lineman Juice Scruggs, which I'm going to assume he's not very good because he came from the Texans.
Nope. But I think at this point, with the 2 linemen that they brought in, like it's an open competition. It truly tells me that the guys they drafted that they lauded over in the draft last year are not ready yet. So they had to compensate by investing in free agency on the offensive line. And I think it's an affordable deals both ways around. And I think more bodies the better, because all of us here know you can't keep Jared Goff upright and in the pocket. He's not that good of a quarterback, and he's not that big of a fantasy asset. He's not a scrambler. I mean, to a point, he can make plays happen, but he's another year older now, another year less mobile. And if that offensive line we saw from the Lions is not effective and consistent, it's going to be detrimental to all these fantasy pieces for us this year.
Are you overall disappointed, or where's your mind at right now to share with your Lions?
With mine, I think what keeps coming to mind to me is they're doing damage control, and it makes me nervous because you brought it up earlier that, those windows, and I feel like they've kind of started to see that the window is closing to closed. Like it's closing to close, not just open to closing, it's closing to close. And now they're doing damage control with the offensive line so they can set back up their draft. I mean, I don't like that they traded David Montgomery. I think that was a piece they still needed on the offense because he was their culture of grit and whatnot. And I feel like they're kind of going towards this more finesse style of football, or flashy. Like the guys that have retired and moved on, or they released, or like the guys that like down in the trenches doing all the dirty work for them for all these years. And now I'm just kind of worried that or nervous that this season's going to be not to what everyone's expecting for Gibbs and Goff and Amon-Ra and all those fantasy related pieces. I think it's going to be more of a lowered expectations. But
I mean, we talked about Rico. I think this is a good spot for Rico to land in there. And then the team that we'll talk about next, just because it's in the order, is Emmanuel Wilson. I think he would make some sense coming here. I mean, you guys just need that grinder, that guy that just works the inside, softens everything up for Gibbs, right?
And wasn't that Montgomery?
Well, that was Montgomery, but I think it makes sense for you guys to walk away from him. And the reason why it makes sense to me is that you got to free up cap space to start working around other things. Like you have so much money invested in Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, Goff, and then you had nowhere else to spend money because you're locked into those.
Well, one of the first things they should have done is restructured Goff's contract today.
Or just not. I honestly think that made sense if you guys would have let Jameis walk or traded him.
I would have liked the trade, but
yeah, it just, to me, like Jameson Williams is a good complementary piece to that offense, but it's not a critical piece in that offense. Yes. And to me, that was, if I was your GM, I probably would have let him walk, or I would have moved him for a pick. just to replenish that position. And I think that was the biggest thing. But then again, I'm kind of a James Williams hater, even though he
Well,
finished as
for
a
me,
real
like
quiet high end
logistically,
too.
like looking at it, just the math, like, well, how does like the rate, like, I know the deal is done, it's bad, we can't do whatever, but like a first and a second and Jamison Williams for Max Crosby and a fourth,
Yeah.
like, but it's
But
either
then
here
you're
or there.
but then you're just the Giants because you have all that money tied in your defensive line and nothing else now. Like your corners was a big weakness this past year.
Oh, there always are because they can't stay healthy and they're always getting exploited and put on islands because their defensive line can't put anything on the quarterback.
Yeah, 100%.
Like-
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just
Alright.
saying, like, it's
Oh.
kind of like opposite. Like, and with some of these teams, like, if you can't get to the quarterback, it puts like more pressure on your defensive backs. But then if you have like good defensive lines, then it's an easier job for your cornerback so they can develop. It just it's just fascinating how some people evaluate situations.
Yeah, 100%. Mike, you got anything to add about the Lions, or do you think?
No, sorry. I mean, if my head's down, I'm trying to figure out all these.
No. I was just
He's falling
we went
asleep in
about
class.
we
No,
went
no.
about the Lions, but
With the Lions, like we talked about, DeShare's talked about it a million times on Whistle to Whistle. Like they need to. I mean, they really need to stop sitting on their laurels. Which I know the David Montgomery thing was a let go type of move for Gibbs to pay those contracts and everything like that. I did like those two free agent signings on the O-line. You're starting to rebuild that. I mean, it really comes down to, is Goff going to turn into a pumpkin or not? So this whole thing, I'm giving a C for now, just because I don't know
Fair.
what is happening the rest of the way, and then in the draft, and then moving forward, because that division might be the most crazy division outside of like the NFC West.
Yeah.
Right? It used to be our division, Wiz, but those two divisions in the NFC are just insane. So
well, we just played grit.
We just
football
really-
against each other. That's
So-
it.
9 or 10 wins, and then that's it. Then
Yeah, it's just a dogfight of just people beating the shit out of each other. Then and the playoffs come around, they're like, "Look at this fucking dude over here. Let's take him out real quick."
you
But
just beat up all these like little kids, and then you go play again. You go against like these high schoolers, and they're beating the shit out of you, basically. Like you're a middle.
I think for
Exactly.
fantasy wise too, I think like the NFC North and West have become a class of their own compared to the AFC North and these other ones. It just
yeah,
a
it's
lot
just
more to pick
it's just
from.
funny. The North teams are just always just a slug dogfight, and none of
Yeah.
us ever do well in the playoffs because we take it all out
we're
on each other.
tired.
And we get burnt out. We get burnt out at it. But
That loop kick that missed, I think it killed me and Wiz for a couple of years. Like just took our lives out for the better or worse.
oh well, when the kick happened or when it missed, I was so upset in the moment. But then afterwards, I was like, yeah, we didn't need to go to the playoffs anyways.
And I said the same thing. I was like, people were picking us to beat the Texans. I was like, what gave you any idea that we could beat the Texans?
Well, in the whole entire week, I was like, I need to lose this game. We need to lose this game. And then obviously, when the game's on, you're like rooting for your fucking team. You miss from a field goal, you're like, are you fucking? And then Isaiah Likely, he had a couple drops there.
Exactly.
But
And I like what your owner said. It's like, would you have fired Hardball even if you guys made the playoffs? And he's like, it was just delayed a week. Like it was going to happen regardless. Our guy didn't say shit. Rooney was like, oh, we love Mike Tomlin. And they asked him the same question. He's like, oh, I don't know. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, if we beat the Texans, I was like, shut up, dude. Like, we knew what was going on.
Sorry, that was my my alarm went off to pick up my kiddo here soon, but that's why I disappeared for a hot minute.
no, you're all good. Next up is Green Bay. Obviously, Mike Willis, Romeo Dobbs, Rasheed Walker, Quay Walker, King Lee, Anabar, Emmanuel Wilson, and then
That was
Tavon
good, yeah.
Diggs.
Better than me.
They,
Like you're killing it. I'm gonna just defer to you when I have to do names.
Yeah, I mean, I probably butchered it. I'm horrible at it. But then they extended Chris Brooks, running back.
That's good. He's a
I'm
thumper.
very. I feel like it's very impartial. I think Emmanuel Wilson did better.
Well, he might be gone, so I think it's good in the sense of like at least you got one guy back if you're losing Wilson.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But Packers, yeah, very lackluster. Nothing too crazy's happened.
Do you think they
To
bring
me,
back
at least,
Dobbs?
nothing. They did bring back Dobbs?
Do they? I was just wondering.
Oh, no, he's still a free agent. I'm checking. I haven't seen anything.
And if Dobbs moves on from the Packers, are you more in on him for fantasy, or are you still staying away?
Depends where he goes. That's the biggest thing.
I'll throw it Patriots.
Yes, that's interesting. I think he makes sense to go to Indianapolis because I think Michael Pittman
that's a
and
good
him
one.
fit play the same role. It just is Daniel Jones going to be there? Is Daniel Jones going to be healthy? Because he tore the Kirk Cousins Achilles leg, not the Aaron Rodgers, and we saw Kirk Cousins turn into a pumpkin afterwards. So can Daniel Jones even play fucking football anymore? That's the question I have. Is Anthony Richardson going to play there? Which Romeo Dobbs, he has a big frame. He can go up there and get the ball, but do you want Anthony Richardson to be your fucking quarterback to rely on your fantasy assets? Not really. So there's just a lot of question marks of where he's going. He's not a guy I'm buying before it. But if he goes to the Patriots, I'm in on him. But that's wishful thinking to me.
Yeah.
What's up, TJ?
King is here.
Not much, gentlemen. Nice job covering everything. I was enjoying it there. Now I'm in. I'm back.
You're cleaning yourself up after the Michael Pittman of the Steelers?
Yes, I was very involved by that. Honestly, that's what I said. I was walking around with a third leg today. I was so happy. Got the load off a little bit. Now, let me just say, I don't know.
Does that make up for the loss to Jonnu Smith, though?
Well, I mean, that stinks.
From one jacket to another.
I said, that we were going to ruin him. But now McCarthy's here. Omar Khan is a Dynasty DNA fan because he knows the players that I like. We bring him in. We just missed out on Myers. We just missed out on Jacoby Myers, but getting Michael Pittman for what we got him for. And look, if I'm a Colts fan, I'm livid right now because I'm going to tell you right now, Alec Pierce, the one-trick pony, investing all of that capital to be your number one when you legitimately, in my opinion, don't have a number two. Kind of a scary situation right there right now. So,
but the writing's on the wall that they have to be drafting a guy, though, right?
Have to be. I mean, but here's the thing, though. You don't have first-round pick because of the Sauce Gardner deal, right?
Fuck,
so that goes out. So maybe you get, someone in these later rounds they have an eye on. But, I mean, Alec Pierce, he's a better yank that's going to be in number one. I think he's just a field-stretching type of guy. And, I don't know. I didn't get that move for the Colts. I mean, I'm happy. I mean, fortune's another person's gain, and that was us right there. But, you look at, and for the Steelers' sake of things, now we don't have to draft a receiver in the first.
Hell yeah.
Right? So, I mean, we can definitely look at the Jamel Dean. Yeah, could
That's
be.
my
Could be.
That's a good one. Very good. For IDP, that's very good.
I like Dean. They need to re-sign Joey Porter. Then we will be set on both those tandems. But I told the guys, TJ, I was like, of course we get another wide receiver, and of course we get another corner. And now we have a huge glaring weakness at quarterback. Like, it's always something with this team. It's never going in like, oh, we have every piece that we kind of need. And it's like, that's why
you're going into the season with a revolver and you don't have all the bullets in there. And you're like, which one's it going to click? Is it going to be a bullet here? Is it going to be a
Hey, at least Arthur Smith's gone. You got one devil out of the room.
Yeah. Two devils.
I will say this makes Ty Simpson a lot more on the Steelers' radar. I'm just going to say it, whether I like it or not. I do think
that the draft's in Pittsburgh. So, it's
you
going
going?
like Green Bay where you go out there and get the flashy pick of Matthew Golden.
Hey, now
you need to bring excitement. You need excitement for your hometown fans. You guys have been so disappointed. But then again, you have Aaron Rodgers walk out there to announce the first overall pick that, guys, I'm fucking back. I'm coming back for one more year. And we're drafting this dude that no one wanted.
So here's a crazy scenario. I don't know if you guys like this. We talked about running backs. Now that the Chiefs got one, Saints got one, Titans might be too high. What if Love falls all the way down to 21? Like, do we take him? Like you said, Wiz, Rodgers comes out. He's like, we got our new dynamic running back. And Love said his dad.
Caleb Johnson's like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah. Caleb Johnson's out the door,
Worst
baby.
pick in NFL history.
But TJ,
Worst
before I gotta
picking
get out of here in a couple
That's
minutes,
what
I
I
want to
said.
know your thoughts on the price tag for Malik Willis to the Dolphins. Too expensive, just right, not enough? What do you think?
Considering the team, I say too expensive. Just because, like, I look at it like, you know, I I know some Miami Dolphins fans, and they're like, "This is Tua 2.0." Right? I mean, like that's exactly
So
the
in
way.
fantasy, are you still out on Malik then, or him going to the Dolphins? Does that sway you in any way?
No, I mean, look, I was never highly in on him. I just think that, like, if I have him, I'm not going to undersell him. I'm still going to want a late first now, especially after this news and considering what I think quarterbacks should fetch. But I'm definitely not any more in on him. If anything, I'm trying to sell high as possible.
Okay.
And I think, that's just the way to approach it because I just don't see him having that kind of success. I mean, he is somebody that needs structure. Why he had success in Green Bay is because there was structure there. He's not good enough to go to a team like Miami and hold it together, right? Like he's more of a game managing type of guy, and that's just a bad recipe. Right? Hero, they don't need Clark Kent, and that's basically what they got.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Arizona Cardinals signed one. Garner Minshew, 1-year deal, $8.25 million. So
The
there you go.
stash is back.
The stash, it might be the starting quarterback. How do we feel about that?
Oh, that means Jacoby to the Steelers?
Whoa, let's not get crazy.
Could be.
We don't need TJ walking on
Could
four.
be.
All right.
TJ walking around with 4 legs.
He's
Give
gonna
me
be a
another
fucking
one of my
chair
guys.
just
Or
leaning
Mac.
up.
Hey, that's what
Or
I've been
Mac
calling
Jones.
since day one. Mac Jones and Brissett. Both one of those two.
Yep. Oh, 100%. But, yeah, I mean, look, it's just like this with Malik Willis. If you have him from a dynasty standpoint, sell as high as possible. I mean, I'm not going to take anything less than what I get for him, but I'm going to sell and sell high.
Okay, what about a
That's
late
where
first?
I'm at on that.
111.
Actually,
I'm taking the first.
Okay.
See, the thing with Malik Willis, TJ, and I'm very different than you are, and it's because they signed him to that. It's a relatively cheap deal. It's a prove it type deal, right? Dolphins have cap space to do. They have a lot of room they could wiggle around. Like, yes, that team's not complete. It's not ready to compete, but they'd take a chance on this guy to see if he's going to be their guy or if they're going to re-roll the dice next year and draft a quarterback. Yes, it's high. He has a high upside in fantasy because he's a Konami code quarterback, right? He could rush. He could pass well. We saw it there in Green Bay. Romeo Doubs could easily come to Green Bay. We've seen that they. I think Dolphins already signed 2 former Green Bay guys now.
They also have the former president and the former defensive coordinator. They're turning into the Miami Packers.
Yeah, exactly. And it just makes sense to keep that thing in there. Bobby Sloak is their OC. Can't really remember too much what he was able to do. But I don't know. I'm at that point, I'd rather have a.
Are you comfortable with him being your QB3 on your rosters?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with
Not
it,
even
and
a quarterback
I'm
too?
fine spending that 111.
Okay.
I'm fine spending that 111 for him, just because what else do
nervous.
you get there at that 111 spot? Like, it's probably a burnout in this class. It's not very strong, right? Like, I would trade him for a 27 first, a Ram 27 first,
Hell yeah.
but I would pay
He-
a late first in this draft class for him.
Well, I would just use the 111, for more trade capital, right? I mean, I wouldn't hold it. Like, as soon as I got it, I'd look to flip it again, either bringing in another player or, packaging something to get into the 27 class to post to that, right? So, like, I would rather do a move like that.
I guess
just
just
think like
you probably trade that 111 for Sam Darnold, maybe. I mean, it just all depends. I mean, we'll
Here's
see
what
what his value shakes out here in a couple of days to see what he's actually going for now since he's at home. But
here's what I would do as a rebuilder really quickly. If I acquired like the 111 in this draft, I would take it in a second and I would trade it for a 27 first and a 27 third, right? I would pay the extra second just to flip flop to get into 27 on a random and also take a third for a second. Because in my opinion, looking ahead, the second and the third round in this class to that class isn't so different, right? So like I'm really not losing much. I mean, on a piece of paper, it looks like it, but I just think that on strategy, and I'm willing to do something like that, get creative and put my team in a better position.
oh, Bob's back.
Bob's back.
Bob's back. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
I seen TJ was involved, so I thought I better at least
The
put my
Emperor's
2
in
cents
town.
in. That's right.
Yeah,
When
I got all my Steelers.
when Palpatine's in the room, you gotta give a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Those
Well, we're
red
talking
hooded guys
Packers,
behind-
Bob.
We're talking Packers, like the defensive renovations that they had, or
They're
No, we're
tearing down
talking
the
about
shed.
the Miami Packers.
Yeah.
Miami Packers. Trying to remember. I know that they sent Gary along his little way. I seen that they're going to let Elton Jenkins go, which I think is disastrous for Jordan Love.
Yep.
What else did they do? I mean, Dobbs went somewhere, didn't he? I think that was
Not yet.
Anywhere yet.
Not yet. Maybe I seen. Hey, just because your face is on there doesn't mean you're interrupting. This is my little wrestler that maybe if he ever gets past 1.8 pounds, he might be something. But
Just don't ever send him to the Raiders.
Let me say this. This
Go ahead.
question's for Bob. This question's for Bob. Let me just say this statement's for Bob, and I think you can agree with me. Every other person in the world was glazing Jacksonville last year, and you said, I don't believe in it long term. And I'm going to tell you right now, everything they've done this free agency term has been disastrous. This is a team that I think is going to downgrade next year. This is a team that I'm definitely getting cold feet on now. I'm not believing in the long term. That ETN loss was crucial and gigantic, and now they're shopping Brian Thomas Jr., who is an otherworldly talent. I'm telling you right now, this is not good for the Jacksonville Jaguars fantasy implications, in my opinion. I think that it's something that's a team. When we talk about teams regressing, this is one I could see regressing.
So,
do they have a plan? No,
No.
They never do. They never will. It's Jacksonville. They'll just never have a plan. And even if quote unquote Tootin is the plan, I don't think that it's not an even swap, right? It's kind of like, hey, we're just I don't know. And I know you guys like Tootin a whole.
I want to see a
more
full
than I do.
workload Tootin.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm not a big Tootin guy, but
TJ, what's up with these guys?
I think with the AFC, the team that's going to digress the most, when I already said it, was the Broncos. They've lost a lot. They have not replenished. They have not targeted the areas that they were weak on this past year. And they outperform expectations. And I alluded to it. It's kind of reminiscing of the Ravens when we made it to the AFC Championship and lost to the Chiefs and Zebras, where we lost a bunch of defensive pieces, a lot of not main pieces, but we lost a lot of supporting cast. And it's a lot like the Lions, where they lost a lot of supporting cast, and I think they lost a couple of main pieces, maybe. I don't remember. And then their door closed. And the Broncos' door was wide open this year. And obviously Bo Nix getting injured fucking ruined their playoff chances and the Super Bowl aspirations. But I think that's the door closed. I think Jaguars, I think they're going to be fine. I mean, they've lost Travis Etienne, Devin Lloyd, Greg Newsome. I mean, they haven't signed anywhere yet besides Travis Etienne, but they brought in Montrek Brown to a 3-year, $3 million extension. So to me, they're fine. Even if they shot Brian Thomas, he was not a focal point in that offense as he should have been. That's not a big hit to the Jaguars, and they're succeeding, right? I think they can succeed without Brian Thomas.
Well,
All right, guys, I gotta get out of here and get my kiddo. So you take it easy. Have a good rest of the
Take it easy.
Okay, see you.
See ya.
At that point, is yes, I know he ain't using that offense, but he is the deep threat. He's the guy that everyone has to worry about, and it opens up that middle underneath stuff for Trevor Lawrence. When they don't have another guy like that, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that they're really here's the thing. The old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Last year, they finally fixed it. Now they're thinking, well, let's do this, let's do that. We can't sign ETN. How can you not sign ETN? He's the most critical part of that offense last year, and you just let him walk out the door. And he's a big Trevor Lawrence friend, right? I mean, through college, through the pros, someone he can rely on. I just think this is more crippling than people think. I really do.
I think they could address the ETN in the draft, right? I think Joe Coleman could be a good replacement for him. in there. I don't
He's
know.
not the
I'm just
talent level. He's not the talent level of ETN is.
I think he's gonna be a fine replacement with him and Tootin back there. Like even though like Tootin, what he excels at is pass catching, right? You just need a guy that could replace ETN's in between the tackle work, and I think Coleman can do that.
I mean, if they wanted to go the cheap route, right? Let's say they brought in a Mooney, and then you got a deep threat. Now, is he Brian Thomas Jr.? No, but like with what little they use Brian Thomas Jr., why couldn't they just use a Mooney-esque type? You know, because at this point, you might as well just have Jacoby Myers be the target hog, which, you know, TJ Chackett, where, you know, you're going to have all that balling out. But, and I don't, whatever with Tootin, right? Like, I think that at any point, they're just going to be a complementary back system. And that's just probably to stay cheap. And while that's fine, I think it's a big regression candidate because we just don't, you know, it was working. Why did you jack with it? And it's just, they don't have a plan.
Yeah, and my thing is, Happy Easter, Bob says.
At least he can put them on straight.
Yeah. Let's go to the flip side of the coin here, though, right? I mean, the New Orleans Saints. What a get, though, for the Saints. Like Kamara, no running game last year. Boy, oh boy, they are helping Tyler Shuck, if you like it or not. Olave still, you know, if he could be healthy, you know, what are they going to do in the draft? They could make some moves there. I have never seen, though, let me just say this. I've never seen a team circumvent the cap and find ways around this kind of stuff like the New Orleans Saints, right? This was a team that really wasn't equipped to do this, and they still did it. I don't know anything I could think, but I like it for Tyler Shuck and the Saints, Wiz. I don't know how you felt about that move, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, defensive side of the ball, they've gotten a lot worse. But, you know, David Edwards, I think that's a good addition to bring in there to shore up that offensive line. It seems like now that Alvin Kamara, I mean, we've seen it time and time that Father Time catches up to you eventually, and it looked like he bit Alvin Kamara a little bit there, and he started losing a lot. Kendra Miller, not that guy. He can't stay fucking healthy. Devin Neal, like I said in the last year, all year, he's not the best running back out of Kansas. And I kept saying it over and over again. And that's what happened. So Travis Etienne, as I don't think it makes amazing sense there for the team to go out there and pay a running back when you're not ready to compete. I think it definitely helps Tyler Shuck out a lot. And I think Tyler Shuck's one of the more sneaky guys you can go ahead and buy, right? I think he's safer than Malik Willis. And that's kind of – and Malik Willis is probably worth more, honestly, right now than Tyler Shuck. I think Tyler Shuck's one of the most disrespected quarterbacks that you go out there and buy right now. And I think he's a solid 3 option on there, and he could be a plug-and-play type of guy.
So let me say this.
I'd rather have Shuck. Sorry. I'm
gonna let Bob respond, but I wanted to throw this in there before I let Bob hop on. My hot take prediction: New Orleans Saints. I think that I'm telling you right now, they're gonna do the Carolina Panther model. I mean, Kellen Moore is someone that I believe in. I like what I seen out of Tyler Shuck last year. This division is an easy division, and we're looking at a schedule that's probably going to be an easy schedule. They didn't make the playoffs last year. Carolina's going to have a tougher schedule, right? Tampa Bay is going to have a little bit more of a tougher schedule. Atlanta with Tua. I'm telling you right now, New Orleans, don't sleep on them, man. I mean, they're going to at least be a 500 football team, I think. So, Bob, I don't know what you think of that. I don't know what you thought about Wiz's comments about them. I think Shuck's a really good buy candidate right now, especially if you're hunting like for a third guy. He would be great on Superflex rosters.
Yeah, we've talked about Shuck before. I like him definitely more than oh my gosh, who was it you just mentioned, Wiz? It was like yeah, I like it better than Malik Willis, mainly because of the weapons. We talked about that earlier. But I also, the thing that I'm going to throw back at you, TJ, and I'm not saying that it can't happen, but like they lost a lot on defense. I'm pretty sure Cameron Jordan's gone. DeMario Davis is gone. Alante Taylor's gone. Like,
Taysom Hill's gone.
Who?
Taysom Hill.
Well, yeah, but I did say defense, not,
No,
crazy, random offensive player guy. But so it's like they're going to have to play better offense, which I think happens. But I also I'm not sure they're going to be very defensive. Now, if young players they have are set to acquire, step up, then you may be cooking with something. But I think that Carolina seems to have made the requisite moves or whatever so far this offseason. I'm trying to remember who I know they grabbed. They grabbed like 3 or 4 guys already that I'm kind of like excited about. But does the offense come forward? Do they bring in somebody to replace Rico Dowdle that can carry the load besides just Chuba Hubbard? Or does Jonathan Brooks finally have healthy knees? Who knows? But it's – and I don't want to count out Tampa Bay yet. But it's entirely possible. I think that they're probably really improved. I don't like Atlanta very much at all. Like the whole let's double down on left-handed quarterbacks seems ridiculous to me. But and they got 2 clones of each other that supposedly play 2 different positions in Pitts and London, but they don't. They play the same position. So, but whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. I would prefer Shuck over a lot. He's probably off the top of my head, like my QB 18 off the top of my head. And that's just, I haven't tried to put a number to it, but like there's a lot of quarterbacks. I like him more than a lot of other quarterbacks.
Hey,
it comes
real quick.
It comes down.
I was going to say that we have one person, I think might be me, on there. Do you guys want to just cut to videos and we can just do like a bunch of short and just cover like one team and then stop the video?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, Wiz. We can do it that way. It doesn't matter if that's what you want to do.
And do you think it's more benefit? Because like I said, I think it's just me watching us.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
It's just you watching us?
Yeah, just me. So